inclusive cultural arts community. They're committed to strengthening and showcasing organizational and individual cultural endeavors in our hometown. To advance this cause, they're seeking individual artists, artisans, advocacy groups, schools, and avid patrons of the arts. If this is you, visit montgomeryal.gov and click on the Cultural Affairs page to register to be part of Montgomery's creative community.
Hey, Dad, how do I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer. There are so many words to describe Panera's new Chef's Chicken sandwiches. The chicken, juicy, succulent, seared. The brioche roll, buttery and toasty. The parmesan, crunchy, tangy, aioli, creamy, and rich. All those words, but when you have a bite, you might just be left speechless. Panera's new Chef's Chicken sandwiches. Enjoy $0 delivery fee when you order on our app. Restrictions apply. For details, visit panerabread.com/delivery info.
Hi, I'm Brent Woodall, and I'm running for Public Service Commission Place 1. I'm running for this office because the incumbent, who has been there for almost a decade, has failed to eliminate the hidden tax at the PSC. A lot of people don't know about the tax that ratepayers of the utilities pay on their utility bills. My opponent didn't even know about it until he heard me talk about it. Maybe that's because he spends so much time at resorts on junkets outside Alabama. If he were at the office more, he might learn a lot about what goes on at the PSC. I'm a conservative. I've been a member of 2 Republican executive committees in Alabama. Chaired a Young Republicans chapter, was the state treasurer of the Young Republicans, and in 2016, I was President Donald Trump at the Republican National Convention. I hope you agree with me that it's wrong to
It's
make
Friday.
utility bill. I'll get
Friday.
your help. Go Brent Woodall on June 21st.
Feeling good.
Service Commission, Place 1.
Paid for by the committee to elect Brent Woodall, PO Box 740594, Tuscumbia, Alabama.
Almost 3 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthy. I'm Martin Hook, and I invented Navage, the world's only nose cleaner that helps flush out airborne germs with powered suction. But what do doctors have to say about Navage? Here's Dr. Tonya Farmer, a board-certified ear, nose, and throat specialist.
Most airborne allergens and viruses enter through your nose. When that happens, it can cause congestion and irritation, and that just makes you feel miserable. You can get a cold, you can get flu, sinus infections, or even worse. Flushing your nose with a saline solution is the most effective way to flush all of those dangerous threats out of your nose. So now when patients come in my office, I tell them I highly recommend that you use Navage on a daily basis for overall good health and wellness.
And Navage is all natural and drug-free at Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Ben here with Just Blinds in Prattville. On behalf of the Myers family and our entire team here at Just Blinds, we want to sincerely thank you for selecting Just Blinds as the best, your #1 choice for blinds, shutters, and drapes in Central Alabama. Just Blinds has been delivering on our family's commitment to
It's
provide
true what they
quality
say, the
solutions
camera
to
puts 10
all
pounds on you.
devices and to deliver the absolute best in customer service.
I think I could
before,
blame the camera
during,
for
and
that.
after the sale for over 35 years. Please visit us online at gojustblinds.com.
Don't miss Sean Hannity.
Biden incoherently adheres
Live this afternoon at 2 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Your WSFA First Alert weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Blindster. Do you need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom-made blind shades and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. Don't overpay for new blinds. Shop Blindster today and save big. Blindster.com.
The heat wave continues today. High temperatures around 100 degrees, sun and clouds. It will be very humid. A heat advisory in effect. It will feel as high as 110. There could be a few isolated showers and storms this afternoon into this evening, but coverage only around 30%. I would not rely on rain to cool you off. Around 100 again tomorrow, sun and clouds. I don't think there's going to be much rain, but about a 20% chance of showers and storms, and then it's dry for Father's Day around 96. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Sabry for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Your Friday kicks off with no major problems or accidents. Interstate systems moving into the Tri-County area from Clanton, Auburn, and Greenville. No problems on 231 south out of Wetumpka or north out of Troy. Keep listening. We'll keep you posted. Trenton State and their River Region Fame partners are now hiring. You work 3 days a week. You go to class 2 days a week. Companies like Hager, Hyundai, and Interplast Group. Call Trenton State before July 4th, 420-4361. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
You love your car, yes? But why are you not loving it with those tires that carry you and your family everywhere? Let Chico's Auto Pros show some love with our super savings on tires. Chico's Auto Pros.
Good morning, I'm Jed Davis. Here's what's happening in the news on this Friday. 2 people are dead, a third person injured after shots were fired inside an Alabama church in Vestavia Hills. It happened in Cahaba Heights near Birmingham at the St. Stephen's Episcopal Church. Police say the shooter came inside during a small group meeting and opened fire. Suspect is now in custody. No word on a motive. Still no word from 2 Alabama veterans missing in Ukraine while helping in the fight against Russia. Andy Wynn and Alexander Druki both volunteered to help the Ukrainian army. Wynn is from Lawrence County. Druki is a native of Tuscaloosa. Military officials say they went missing while fighting in Kharkiv back on June 9th. One day after the Federal Reserve raised its key rate by 3/4 of a point, trying to slow inflation, average long-term mortgage rates made their biggest one-week jump in 35 years. Mortgage buyer Freddie Mac reported the 30-year rate climbed from 5.23% last week to 5.78% this week. That's your news on this Friday.
Big dreams and great music continue on the stage at Alabama Shakespeare Festival with American Mariachi. It's the 1970s, and if you want to be a mariachi, you've got to be a man. Or do you? Laugh and let your heart be warmed as Lucha and friends set out to form an all-girl mariachi band. July 27th through August 21st. Get tickets at asf.net or 334-271-5353. And in case you didn't know, there are no COVID policies in place. So come as you are for an experience you do not want to miss. Also, we're offering you another great sweet deal from Alabama Shakespeare Festival. Starting Friday, June 17th at 8 a.m., head to this radio station's website to get 2 tickets to ASF's performance of American Mariachi for the price of 1. This sweet deal starts at 8 a.m. and offers are limited, so act fast. Friday, June 17th at 8 a.m. Just visit this radio station's website and click Sweet Deal to get your tickets to American Mariachi at Alabama Shakespeare Festival.
Mike Costanza with Chappie's Deli.
And Jeff Baranka with Chappie's Deli.
What are you eating, Jeff?
Chappie's Deli sweet potato fries.
They're so good. People eat them all the time. Jeff, what are you humming?
Just thinking. I used to get phone calls after I sing in the commercials.
But they aren't good phone calls. Don't do this.
Sweet potato fries.
Sweet
dun, dun, dun. French fries never tasted so good.
Please, I'm begging.
I'd eat mine. Dun, dun, dun. Every day if I could.
Folks, come get your sweet potato fries with no singing.
Sweet potato fries.
Who in the world wants that? Pepper Tree, Baptist South, Prattville, and Auburn.
Sweet.
That's right, $49 down delivery. Shop over 300 late model light views, car, truck, van, SUV, convertible, sports cars, America's finest. Starting with prices of $6,900 and $49 down delivery. Yep, think your credit report's a little messy? Been told no in the past? Bankruptcy, medical bills, or even a foreclosure. Budget treats everyone with privacy and respect for all credit situations. I work with the banks and the lenders that understand your past and know you're more than just a number. You're number one to me. This special relationship allows us 100% credit approval gold. That's right, 100% credit approval gold. Get absolute top dollar.
Sweet
Caroline. No trading required. Oh, did I say $49 down delivered? Budget car and truck sale, 61 Mendale Parkway, Montgomery.
Good morning, Christine.
BuyBudgetOnline.com. That's BuyBudgetOnline.com.
telling it like it really is.
That's the fact, Jack.
It's the Dan Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440.
And before we get started this morning, let me okay, turn this. Okay, where's my sound go here? Where did there we go, right there. Okay, good morning, everybody. Hey, before we get started, let me tell you about one of our new sponsors, which is J.O. Lane Truck and Auto. And if you need a good automobile, you're thinking about buying one for the kids, the grandkids, or whatever, whoever you want to buy them for, they're one of the greatest used car concierge in Montgomery, Alabama. And don't worry about buying it. Don't worry about paying. You can pay here, you can pay there, or they buy here, pay here. So don't worry about credit and all that stuff. Okay, I mean, they're going to ask you a couple of questions, but don't worry about it. It's going to be easy questions I can answer. Okay, so all you got to do is go to the website, jolanetruckandauto.com. Check out the inventory this morning, and by 12 o'clock, you can get off those heels and be on some wheels. Okay, so go by and see them. They're 208 Gun Road in Montgomery, Alabama. Their number is 272-4314. Ask for Steve or Kathy, but mainly Steve, because Steve handles those kinds of things. So you might want to go. You might want to check them out right now. Here's that number one more time: 272-4313. Good morning to you. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is News Radio 1440. Okay, so don't go any place. All right. Now, let's get this day started in a prosperous, motivated way by listening to the Word. Good morning. And good morning, Montgomery, Alabama. It is time to rise and shine. For once again, it is a great day to be above the ground, than the ground being above you. It is time for our daily bread. It is June the 17th, 2022 AD. Today's daily bread is simply entitled Planted in God. Jeremiah 17:8 says, they will be like a tree planted by the water. Today's scripture insight comes from Jeremiah 17:5-8. Govern yourselves accordingly. Again, it is June the 17th, 2022 AD. It is a day like all the other days that has never been. And it is a day that shall never, ever come again. And once it's gone, you don't get a do-over. You don't get it back. You don't get to come back and do all the things that you should have done today that you didn't. But more importantly, you don't get a chance to come back and undo the things that you do. So whatever it is that you do this day, June the 17th, 2022, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you'll be proud of what you have done this day. For there is no day like this one. And you only get one. If you lived a while, and I say it every morning because each day it's a different blessing. It is a different day. Each day. You've lived a while. You've seen, you've heard many, many yesterdays. And only if we are blessed and given the grace of God and a lot of mercy thrown in, will we see another day. Because this day is not promised. Was never promised. And tomorrow won't be promised. Unless God gives us grace and mercy. So be appreciative of this day. You'll never see another one like it. Benjamin Elijah said, whatever we do in life, we should do it so well that no man living, no man dead, and no man yet to be born can do it any better. And I say, if that is the standard by which you live life, you should always be successful, or you'll fail at a thing or two. We all do. But you'll never be a failure until you quit. We say, give out if you must. Rest if you can. But you never, ever give up. You never quit, because quitters don't win. And while winners fail at a thing or two, they never give up. My mother used to say that nothing beats a failure but a try. Martin Luther King said, if you cannot run, walk. And if you cannot walk, crawl. But whatever you do, keep moving forward. And the mountains of life, sometimes they're so high you can't get over. Sometimes it's so deep you don't think you'll ever crawl out. And sometimes they're so wide you don't ever think you can get around it. If you can't go over the mountain, you can't get around the mountain, you can't go under the mountain, sometimes, with God's help, you go through the mountain. And remember, even on rainy days, the sun is still where it always has been, in the sky. Good morning to you, Montgomery. Planet in God. That's our daily bread for today, June the 17th, 2022. Good morning, Montgomery. It's a great day to be alive.
Welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread. Our reading, titled Planted in God, was written by Patricia Rabin. The wind is tossing the lilacs. With that opening line of her springtime poem, May, poet Sarah Teasdale captured a vision of lilac bushes waving in gusty breezes. But Teasdale was lamenting a lost love, and her poem soon turned sorrowful. Our backyard lilacs also encountered a challenge. After having their most lush and beautiful season, they faced the axe of a hard-working lawn man who trimmed every bush, chopping them to stubs. I cried. Then, 3 years later, after barren branches, a bout of powdery mildew, and my faithless plan to dig them up, our long-suffering lilacs rebounded. They just needed time, and I simply needed to wait for what I couldn't see. The Bible tells of many people who waited by faith despite adversity. Noah waited for delayed rain. Caleb waited 40 years to live in the promised land. Rebecca waited 20 years to conceive a child. Jacob waited 7 years to marry Rachel. Simeon waited and waited to see the baby Jesus. Their patience was rewarded. In contrast, those who look to humans will be like a bush in the wastelands, says Jeremiah 17:6. Poet Teasdale ended her verse in such gloom. I go a wintry way, she concluded. But blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, rejoiced Jeremiah. They will be like a tree planted by the water. The trusting stay planted in God, the one who walks with us through the joys and adversities of life. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Jeremiah chapter 17, verses 5 through 8. This is what the Lord says. Cursed is the one who trusts in man, who draws strength from mere flesh, and whose heart turns away from the Lord. That person will be like a bush in the wastelands. They will not see prosperity when it comes. They will dwell in the parched places of the desert, in a salt land where no one lives. But blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in him. They will be like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when heat comes. Its leaves are always green. It has no worries in a year of drought and never fails to bear fruit. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, when our life feels barren or buffeted by stiff winds, please grow our trust in you by planting us deeper in your steadying love. Thank you, Lord. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thanks for listening today. My name is Joyce Dinkins, and today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Okay, now what we're going to do. Go ahead. Do it. Do it. Do it. Here we go.
All the way.
All the way.
Gotta be
Rough and tough.
rough and tough.
Airborne. Every day.
We run
To the sun.
no sweat.
Not yet. Down in the mess hall on my knee. Oh, yeah. We got nothing to eat but a can of beans.
Nothing to eat but a can of beans.
The bread was moldy and the meat was bad. Come on now.
The meat was
Oh, you know darn well that you can't eat that.
Hey, you know darn well that you can't eat that. Here we go.
Here we go.
All the way.
All the way.
Gotta be
rough and tough. Airborne. All the way. When I was young, I always wanted to be in the 82nd Airborne, needs a breeze. Now that I'm here, I'm gonna do it right. Jump from an aircraft while in flight. Oh!
airborne, airborne, all the way, driving on, driving on.
Say it, man!
Airborne, airborne, all the way, driving on, driving on. Early one morning in the drizzling rain.
Well, I picked up my parachute and held at the plane. Jump master said 1 minute to go. Green light, go ahead. Oh, do it again. It's a great day to be alive. Feeling good, feeling good.
Driving on, all the way, airborne, airborne, all the way, driving on,
Driving on.
Here we go.
Here we go. All the way. Gotta be
rough and tough.
Rough and tough. Airborne.
Airborne, airborne.
All the way. And now we pay homage to all of our armed forces: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, the Montgomery Sanitation Department, the Montgomery Police Department. Don't forget anybody. Oh, the Sheriff Department, Alabama Law Enforcement Agency, otherwise known as ALEA, ambulance drivers, paramedics, firemedics, all the people who go in when everybody else is running the other way. Good morning to you, Montgomery, and the rest of the United States, those folks who listen to us from New York to wherever. We got folks from Washington State, too. So I'm nationwide now. Okay. Well, you know, I mean, sooner or later it had to happen. Anyway, good morning to you. And of course, there is an Air Force base in Montgomery called Maxwell Air Force Base. So I don't want to be disrespectful. This is their house, so I'm going to give them, some respect there. So good morning to you, Maxwell, and the Air War College, and to all the people who come from all over the world to this great city to learn from the best of the best. We call it our little Top Gun. Okay? I know Tom Cruise won't get mad about that, okay? I hope not anyway. Boom. The United States Navy, whose motto is anchors away, whatever that means. I guess it means throw away the anchor. I'm not sure. I don't know why I drank so much coffee. I don't even like it. They're known as jarheads, amongst other names. But their motto is Semper Fidelis, or Semper Fi. Either way, it all means the same thing. Always, always faithful. Don't you wish everybody was? The United States Marine Corps. Hoorah! But next up, America's oldest armed forces, the United States Army. I got a special place in my heart for the United States Army. Yeah. Every time I think about it, I start crying. They fed me, made me a man, and paid me. Hey, you don't get much better than that. Good morning, Fort Bragg, all the way down in North Kakalaki. Morning, Fort Lewis, all the way up there in Washington. I'm feeling exceptionally well today. I don't know why. I think because it's a great day to be alive. That's why. Anyway, gotta take a break. We'll come back with our audio rendition this morning. It is a great day to be alive.
Sponsored by Blindster. Do you need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom-made blind shades and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. Don't overpay for new blinds. Shop Blindster today and save big.
Over here, over there, we can mix it up. Oh, no, 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 no.
Advisory in effect. It will feel as high as 110. There could be a few isolated showers and storms this afternoon into this evening, but
over here, over there.
Rely on rain to cool you off. Around
James Brown was here today. This is what he might say. I lit up the phony. All right, now let's see what my thing.
Meteorologist Tyler Sabry for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. The good news this Friday continues. No major problems or accidents have been reported. Nothing to send you on an alternate.
Over here, over there, we can dust the trail, and those sailors go rolling along.
Your good credit gets you any vehicle on the lot at Reinhardt Used Car Supercenter. Cars, trucks, SUVs, it's all at Reinhardt Used Car Supercenter on the East Boulevard. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
You love your car, yes, but why are you not loving it with those tires that carry you and your family everywhere? Let Chico's Auto Pros show some love with our super savings on tires. Chico's Auto Pros.
For those who play Counter-Strike, players are familiar with the infamous blinding effect of flashbang. The sudden harsh lighting has been noted as uncomfortable for the eyes for many players. This week, one fan created two eye-safe flashbang concepts that caught traction online. One effect darkened the screen instead of making the screen lighter, and the other effect blurred the screen instead. While developer Valve rarely takes feedback, fans hope this could be an exception.
The latest esports and gaming news. Find it online at checkpointxp.com.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide.
Over here, over there, we will do something
to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333.
I am Stan Cook, and I'm asking for your vote for state auditor. As state auditor, I will protect the taxpayer from spending spree politicians and bureaucratic pirates. I am not a recycled politician that needs a job. I am a constitutional conservative Christian and a lifelong Republican that has no strings attached to the political elite or corrupt power brokers in Montgomery. Vote Stan Cook for state auditor. Paid for by the committee to elect Stan Cook, P.O. Box 130, Kimberly, Alabama 35091.
Your local radio stations are here for you. No subscriptions or monthly fees necessary. We're here to give you the news, weather, and traffic you need and the music you love. But if the foreign-owned record labels get their way, it could stop the music. They want Congress to force radio stations to pay them more money simply to play their music. Don't let radio go silent. Text local
Okay, now, let me see.
and tell Congress to protect
Over
local radio
here,
stations.
over there.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
It's a fact. Guys hate going to the doctor. But when it comes to erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues,
Erectile
all of
dysfunction.
Montgomery have been thrilled
What
to to
is that?
see Dr. Alderson, one of the
I
providers
guess it means
in Montgomery
dysfunction.
Men's Health,
Erectile.
all the way up
I
to
don't know.
95 years old, have jump-started their sex drive and energy levels. Lots of men suffer with ED for years, but now they're able to enjoy sex again. Tom from Montgomery said, Montgomery Men's Health has changed my life. I have been able to be intimate with my wife for the first time in 5 years. She thought this problem was because of her, but the pills never worked for me. I had given up until I went to the clinic and realized there were more options for erectile dysfunction. Now I'm happy and my wife is happy. A visit for only $99, and that includes all testing, including a PSA and testosterone test. Give the guys at the clinic a call at 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Here we go again. What's that? Mo Brooks is running for office yet again. How long's he been running? Mo's been running for something since 1982. That's 40 years. Pretty good career for a politician.
Man, I was in Germany 40 years ago.
Wow. Now, if you thought Mo's attacks on President Trump were bad, you should check out his record on taxes. Is it bad? Let's just say he's got a long career with a lot of taxes. Property taxes? Mo wanted to raise them. Sales taxes? Mo's wanted to increase the sales tax too. And income taxes? Mo's voted to raise income taxes. In Congress, Mo even voted against the Bush tax cuts. Twice. Twice? Yep, twice. Prices are up just about everywhere. Sending Mo to the Senate would make things even worse. Mo Brooks. More like Mo taxes. Mo taxes. Alabama Rhino PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising. Paid for by the Alabama Rhino PAC and not authorized by any candidate or candidates. AlabamaRhino.com.
Hey, Sean Hannity here, and now you can hear me live every afternoon. It all starts at 2, and it's all happening right here on News Radio 1440.
All righty then. Okay. This is for my millennials, who are all confused. They're going to get rich. They had no job, but they're going to get rich. And they got great ideas, but no experience. I understand. Yeah.
They feel like they know almost everything. See, they grew up with undeserving confidence because they got trophies just for participating.
Yeah, the millennials are the first group of people in America to get a trophy for not winning. Woo! Okay, then. Get a participation trophy. Yeah. Did you play today? Yeah. Here's your trophy. Did you win? Well, no, we didn't win. But we still need a trophy to prove we was here. Okay. Okay, then. Oh, yeah, we're going to play football, but you can't tackle anybody. Okay, then. All right, then. All right, I'm just millennials. I don't know. This week's been my millennial week. My son just says things to me sometimes that just confuse the hell out of me. I don't know what's up with him. I don't know where that thinking comes from. I'm gonna have a DNA test done. I don't know where he comes up with some of these ideas. Anyway, good morning to you. The audio presentation this morning teaches us some lessons. It teaches us that where you start, you don't have to finish there. And there are many things. One of the reasons why we call this show Decisions is because everything we do is incumbent upon a decision, good, bad, or other. But everything we do in life has something to do with our decisions. Sometimes we make good ones, sometimes we make bad ones, but we still gonna make one. So this right here is a guy named Ian Murphy, and he I played before because every time I need some motivation, I listen to this thing right here, and I'm regenerated, remotivated, whatever you want to call me, because sometimes we forget. Okay, we're not the only one that saw some troubles in life. A lot of people have. Okay, strength does not come from failure. Strength comes from falling down and getting up every time you do. Okay, that's where your strength comes from. So don't sit there and language in failure. Get back up, try it again. Mom used to say when you fell off the bike, she used to say, keep going. And every once in a while, listen, I realize this is a novelness that we seem to forget sometimes in America, but it don't hurt to ask the good Lord for some help sometimes. Yeah, I mean, you can't, I mean, if your name was God, I can see you didn't need no help, but we all do. So get on your knees every once in a while. That's why God gave them to you, okay? Sometimes he breaks us down so we know where the help comes from, okay? And trust me, there have been plenty of times in my life when I've been going on my way and I forgot about God too, okay? Somehow, though, although he has a way of reminding you, okay? Anyway, check this out. It is a great day to be alive.
My grandmother never used an alarm clock. But every morning, my grandmother would wake up at 4:15. And at 4:16, her feet would hit the floor, usually right in front of my face. And that's what would wake me up. But I would lay there and I would pretend like I was still asleep, because me and 4:15 really didn't get along. I understand. But grandma would look at the back of my head. I could feel her staring at me. And then finally she would say, "Now, sugar, grandmama know you ain't sleep. You just supposed to go on and get on up and get ready for school." And my grandmother was known for saying things that would kind of make you a little angry because they made so much sense and you couldn't argue with it. Parents, you know, there's things that when you become parents, you start to say to your own kids. Like my grandmother would say, "Now, son, you knew when you laid down there last night that you can't get up this morning. I don't know why every single morning you lay there and act surprised. You ought to be thankful that the Lord saw fit to wake you up in your right mind." But what my grandmother was encouraging me to do was simply to be grateful for the opportunity. In spite of all that I had been through in my life, she just wanted to make sure that I understood the opportunity that I've been given. My life got started, it was a little rough. It was a little rough start. I was born 2 months premature. My mother was walking up a flight of stairs, and she didn't know this at the time, but a woman she had an argument with earlier was standing above her holding a pot of boiling water. As my mom made her way up those stairs, that woman dumped that water onto my mom and sent her tumbling down the stairs into premature labor. She received third-degree burns to over 25% of her body. And when we were finally allowed to leave the hospital, as you can imagine, my mom was in a great deal of pain. Those burns just barely missed her face and covered most of the front of her body. So when we got home, she began taking a heavy sedative, pain medication to help her recover. When she took that medication, it was very difficult for her to watch me, so I would bounce around a lot. I'd stay with my mom for a little bit, and then I'd go stay with grandma, and I'd stay with some neighbors, aunties, and then back to my mother's house. I did that for the first 3 years of my life. I was 3 years old, I was back at my mom's house, and I got into her purse, and I found that medication. I swallowed everything in the bottle. When they found me, they rushed me to the hospital, and my heart would stop, and eventually I went into a coma. But because of that accident, because of that incident, the state of California, they did an investigation. And the conclusion that they came to was that it wasn't an accident. They removed me from my mother's home, I was made a ward of the state, and eventually I went into a foster care system. Shortly after I arrived to one of my foster homes, my foster mom, her name was Miss Alexander. Miss Alexander began locking me inside the closet with a light. She'd open the closet door, she'd kick me, hit me with a stick or a strap or whatever she had. It was while I was in that foster home that I was sexually abused for the first time in my life. And oftentimes people will ask, you know, if that has to be the worst thing that could happen to someone. I have scars on my body that you can't see. I have a burn here in my hand that she put there with an iron. But all of that pain went away. The worst thing that Mrs. Alexander would do is she would open the closet door, she would stand over me, and she would say, "You're stupid, and you ain't gonna never amount to nothing." And that hurt me more than any of the physical kicks or the physical pain, because I believed it for a long time. I believed that I would never amount to anything, just like she said. I didn't know this at the time. I found out a little bit later, but my grandmother, my hero, she had started going back and forth to court, trying to prove that she could take care of an active, handsome little boy. And eventually, the state of California, they granted her full custody of me. And I'll never forget, standing on Miss Alexander's front porch waiting. She had my little belongings, everything that I had. I remember standing there, it may have only been a half an hour, but it felt like an eternity. And I can remember thinking, maybe no one's coming. But after a while, at the end of the block, I see the ugliest car I've ever seen in my life. And the car pulls up right in front of the porch. And I remember all I could see are these two big glasses, bifocals. I found out later that Grandma had glaucoma. She wasn't supposed to be driving. But she gets out of that big car and she's got on this white floppy hat with this, it was a flower right there in the middle. And I remember she had on this long white dress that came all the way down to her ankles. And I found out later that, that was Grandma's Sunday best. It was an outfit that she only reserved for special occasions. And I can remember for once in my life feeling like I was some special occasion. I remember jumping into Grandma's arms and squeezing her, and I remember her whispering and saying to me, everything's okay. Your family. And everything was okay, just like Grandmother said. And I had a lot to look forward to. I found out that my mom was going to court trying to prove that she could take care of me. And I can remember sitting there with my mother and we talk and we had a lot of different conversations. One thing I can remember saying, Mama, one day when I get big, I'm gonna buy you a nice house with a fireplace. I said, Mama, one day I'm gonna buy you a nice car. Not like Grandma, so get you a nice one. But the truth is, I just really wanted to become a family again. And that's what I look forward to. When I was 12 years old, I was asleep on my grandmother's floor. It was about 4 o'clock in the morning. We get a knock on the door. It was my mom's roommate. Miss Howell, come quick. Miss Howell was my grandma. She said, come quick, it's Ruth. Ruth was my mom. She said, I can't wake her up. I think she's dead. And I can remember laying on that floor, kind of wishing it was, hoping that it was maybe a dream. But it wasn't. And that's how I found out that all the hopes and dreams and things that I had to look forward to weren't going to happen. I became very angry. I became confused. I was hurt. I didn't really understand what was happening. I started acting out, hanging out with wrong people, breaking into houses, started stealing cars. I can remember not really caring what happened to me. I continued that behavior until I was 19. When I was 19, I found myself standing in front of a judge. I was handcuffed, had a chain around my waist, and my handcuffs were attached to that chain. The judge looked at me and says, the state of California sentences you to 15 years in prison for armed robbery and assault with a deadly weapon. That day, when that door closed behind me for the first time as a convicted felon, I remember standing in that empty cell. I remember my knees started to get weak and they started to shake uncontrollably. I collapsed and I fell to the floor. I just started crying alone. I can remember hearing voices. I heard the voice of my foster mom saying, you're stupid, you ain't gonna never amount to nothing. I heard the voice of family members and friends of family that said that boy's gonna end up just like his father. My father was a career criminal, he died in prison. I can remember laying there thinking to myself that this is where I'm gonna die. But here's what happened that would change my life. Shortly after I arrived to that prison, there was an educator.
Turn that hippie shit down in here.
6'3", ex-Marine. And I don't know what it was about me, but every time he saw me, he'd say, hey, Mr. Humphrey. He had this big smile on his face. A smile that my kids would say, that's creepy. But he smiled and he said, hey, Mr. Humphrey, how you doing? He always called me Mr. Humphrey. He gave me that respect. He walked into my cell. He looked at me and he said, Mr. Humphrey, he says, prison doesn't have to be your life. He says, you can get out of here and you can do great things. He started to walk away, and before he walked out of my cell, he turned around one last time. He says, Mr. Humphrey? I said, yes, sir. He says, I believe in you. He walked out of my cell. And if he had continued to stand there, he would have seen the tears running down my face because no one had ever said that to me. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm going to make some changes, and I'm going to change my life. And a little over 4 years after the day I originally collapsed and fell to the floor, I walked out of that prison on parole. That was over 18 years ago. I've never been back other than to mentor and help other people. But here's what I know. I know that when you've had a rough life, when you feel unwanted, I know that when you have hopes and dreams and when you have things that you can look forward to, and when you have people in place that support you and push you, I know that that gives you a reason to live. It is a great day to be alive. And that's something that I haven't always said, but now it's something that I say to myself every single day at some point. If I'm having a great day or a bad day, that's something that I say. But what I also understand is that what my grandmother was thanking her higher power for each and every day was for the opportunity that she'd been given. And she never missed an opportunity to tell anyone that would listen, especially me, it's a great day.
It is a great day to be alive. Good morning to you. Next up, the lessons of life. Wow, what a powerful, powerful story. I never get tired of hearing this. I never get tired of hearing this. It really is. It is a great day to be alive. And everybody who wakes up every morning, that should be, besides thank you, God, for this day and being on top of the ground rather than the ground on top of you. Everybody ought to think about that for a second, because it really is, because these days have never been promised to you or I. So it is a great day to be alive. Lessons of life, the things you learn by living. First of all, let me give you the word of the day. The word of the day goes, and a good friend of mine in Montgomery, this is his name. Now, I didn't know, that his name meant so much. However, it is his name, and you'll got for the influential, you'll know who I'm talking about when I tell you the word of the day. And I just happened to find this word one day, and I didn't know, what it meant. I knew it was his name, but I didn't know what the name meant. I don't know everybody's name, but the word of the day is Nimrod. Okay, hey Nimrod, Frazier, good morning to you, sir. It means hunter. Okay. So Nimrod Sr. knew exactly what he's talking. And of course, Nimrod is a former TAB U.S. Army Ranger and other things. He's one of my heroes. Okay. And what a great guy. Anyway, Nimrod is the word of the day, and it means hunter. Okay. Not Hunter Biden. Because that's a whole different story right there. Now, the lessons of life today is very simple. Very, very, very simple. Sometimes in life, words can either tear you down or they can build you up. Somewhere in the Bible tells us not to use words except those words that build up the listener. But there are two words in the English lexicon that ought to be used more often. And what are they? I think everybody knows. So today, when you look in the mirror, think about who needs to hear these two words. And whatever you do, you stop what you're doing, you call them up, whether it's your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, a close friend. But there are two words that can heal a broken friendship or a broken heart. And those words are, I am sorry. Okay, that's like three words, but I'm sorry. Okay, so that takes it back down to the two-word thing. I'm sorry. Don't waste it. And when you say it, mean it. Okay? I'm sorry. Sometimes just two words can heal a wounded or broken heart. I'm sorry. Don't forget how to use it. It is June the 17th. It is the 168th day of 2022. There's 197 days left in this year. It was on this day in 1994, after leading police on a slow speed chase on Southern California freeways, O.J. Simpson, Orenthal James Simpson, was arrested and charged with murder in the slayings of his ex-wife, Nicole, and her friend, Ronald Goldman. Simpson was later acquitted in a criminal trial, but was held liable in a civil trial. I can't figure that one out, all the tea in China. 1775 Revolutionary War Battle of Bunker Hill resulted in a costly victory for the British, who suffered heavy losses. In 1885, the Statue of Liberty arrived in New York Harbor aboard a French ship. Okay, I think it was called Iseer, that was the name of the ship. 1933, I don't know what it means. The Kansas City massacre took place outside Union Station in Kansas City, Missouri, as a group of gunmen attacked law enforcement officers escorting federal prisoner Frank Nash. 4 of the officers were killed along with Nash. 1963, the U.S. Supreme Court in Abington, Pennsylvania School District versus Shrimp struck down by a vote of 8-1 rules requiring the recitation of the Lord's Prayer or reading of biblical verses in public schools. I don't know. We got rid of that, and all we got now is cell phones and people fighting. I don't know. I guess we've always had fights in school, though. 1967, on this day, China successfully tested its first thermonuclear or hydrogen bomb. Okay. 1972, President Richard Nixon's eventual downfall began with the arrest of 5 burglars inside the Democratic headquarters in Washington, D.C., Watergate complex. Move right along. 1986, besides me being stuck in misery in Hawaii with the sun always shining, perfect weather, and looking out at my beachfront apartment, other than that, President Ronald Reagan announced the retirement of Chief Justice Warren Burger, who was succeeded by William Rehnquist. In 2009, President Barack Obama extended some benefits to same-sex partners of federal employees. Nevada Senator John Ensign resigned from the GOP leadership a day after admitting an affair with a former campaign staffer. So you can have same-sex marriage, you can keep your job, but if you get caught up, you got to lose your job. I don't know. Say I'm sorry. 2012, Rodney King, 47 years old, who in 1991 was videotaped beaten by the Los Angeles police, sparked widespread outrage, who struggled with addiction and repeated arrests, died in Rialto, California, of an apparent accidental drowning in 2012. 2013, U.S. Supreme Court ruled 7-2 that states cannot demand proof of citizenship from people registering to vote in federal elections unless they get federal or court approval to do so. I mean, that's not one of the dumbest decisions. So if you are illegally here, you can't be stopped from registering to vote. So why in the hell we got the law? I don't know. Must have been the Democrat put it in. Anyway, 2019, Iran announced that it was breaking compliance with international accord that kept it from making nuclear weapons. The announcement meant that the Iran could soon start to enrich uranium or just a step away from weapons grade level. Anyway, those are some of the things. There's a few of the things that happened on this day in America. We'll be back. Uno momento. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco momento. Okay, that's my Spanish, speaking right there. I know all you guys can speak Spanish as well as I can. Okay, I know all the bad words in Spanish. Now, I don't use them, but I know them. That's why when I'm sitting there walking by in the store and somebody calls me a bad name in Spanish, see, they don't understand what they're saying. I just look at them. Yeah, look at them. And I'm not taller than too many people, but I'm taller than most of them. So, come on. Let's say I apologize. Okay, maybe I don't ask them to apologize, but I look at them like I want them to apologize. I mean, some of the names they call a brother when they don't think he knows Spanish. Come on now. Now, if you're German and you say it, you probably got me because I only know like 3 words in German. Oh, and I know some in Korea too. So, I know when y'all talking about me too. Anyway, gotta go. We'll be back.
On News Radio 1440.
AIMIL. I don't know radio.
Were fired inside an Alabama church in Vestavia Hills. It happened in Cahaba Heights at the St. Stephen's Episcopal Church. Police say the shooter came inside during a small group meeting and opened fire. Suspect is now in custody. No word on a motive. Still no word from 2 Alabama veterans missing in Ukraine while helping in the fight against Russia. Andy Wynn and
MIANEL.
Military officials say they went missing while fighting in Kharkiv back on June 9th. One day after the Federal Reserve raised its key rate by 0.75 of a point, trying to slow inflation, average long-term mortgage rates made their biggest one-week jump in 35 years. Mortgage buyer Freddie Mac reported the 30-year rate climbed from 5.23% last week to to 5.78% this week. That's your news on this Friday.
News Radio 1440, WLWI AM, the home of the Dan Bongino Show. Also on 95.1.
This is the CBS World News Roundup, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez, developing news related to the 4-month-old war in Ukraine. The European Commission is proposing Ukraine for EU membership, something Russia staunchly opposes. President Ursula von der Leyen.
The Commission recommends to the Council, first, that Ukraine is given European perspective, and second, that Ukraine is given candidate status.
More from correspondent Linda Kenyon.
That recommendation will be discussed by leaders of the 27-nation bloc when they meet for their summit next week in Brussels. All members of the union must approve before Ukraine can join. It is a process that could take several years.
Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas' wife has agreed to talk to January 6th investigators about an effort to overturn results of the 2020 election in communications with former Trump attorney John Eastman. CBS's Nicole Killian from Capitol Hill.
The committee recently obtained new emails between Eastman and conservative activist Ginny Thomas, who's the wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. Eastman says it was just about an election update. Thomas says she is willing to talk to the committee, which has now sent her a letter to do just that.
Police near Birmingham have not yet released a motive in a deadly shooting inside a church last night. Correspondent Mark Strassman.
Vestavia Hills police raced to St. Stephen's Episcopal Church Thursday evening. The call was about an active shooter. They say the gunman acted alone, entering a small church meeting and opening fire before being taken into custody. 2 people were killed, a third injured.
WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange could be a step closer to extradition to the U.S. to face spying charges. Correspondent Cammie McCormick.
Assange is wanted by U.S. authorities on 18 counts, including a spying charge. The British Home Office has now approved his extradition, saying UK courts have not found it would be unjust or a violation of his human rights. A judge there had ruled his mental health should prevent his deportation, but that has now been overturned after the U.S. offered a package of assurances, including a pledge he could be transferred to Australia to serve any sentence.
One of California's largest utilities will start burying power lines after paying massive fines for sparking wildfires. Donna Contreras is with Pacific Gas and Electric.
Underground reduces ignition risk by 99%. So we are starting in the areas of the highest fire risk.
Golden State gets it done.
Steph Curry from way downtown.
Curry propelling the Warriors to a 103-90 win over the Celtics for the team's 4th NBA title in 8 seasons. This is CBS News.
So the Lakers,
The World News Roundup is presented by Rocket
all
Mortgage.
them stars,
When you need cash
and they
out
can't
your
win
home,
an NBA
and the
championship
simple way to
anymore.
get it, Rocket
Okay,
can.
I don't understand that. All that money.
You can unlock more cash than you realize from your home's equity with a cash out refinance today. In the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. And with Rocket Mortgage, you can unlock thousands in less than 3 weeks. But you've got to act right now before rates go up. So when you're looking to unlock the cash in your home, Rocket can. Call 8338-ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started. Rates current as of 12/12/21. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license 56 and all less consumer access. Not over 30 call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
Big news! Greta Van Susteren is hosting her new show, The Record, with Greta Van Susteren. It's just launched on Newsmax. Each night at 6 p.m. Eastern, Greta is reporting the real news, and without the media spin. She's smart, tough, and always fair. Find Greta on Newsmax, America's fastest growing news channel. Millions have switched to Newsmax. Find out why. If your cable doesn't carry Newsmax, call them. Demand it. Make the switch today. Newsmax is real news for real people.
50 years ago today, burglars broke into Democratic National Committee headquarters.
Watergate. Who ordered the wiretaps?
What were those men after?
More from CBS's Chris Cruz.
Frank Wills had noticed tape on the door lock during his first rounds just after midnight. He took it off and closed the door. About an hour later, after a meal break, he saw the door lock was taped over again. He called police, who quickly responded, arresting 5 burglars in the office of the Democratic National Committee, some of whom were later linked to the Nixon re-election campaign. Christopher Cruz, CBS News, Washington.
As the war raged in Ukraine, a native band bolstered spirits, winning the 2022 Eurovision contest. But organizers say next year's competition will not be held in Ukraine as planned because of the war. They say they're in talks to move them to the UK. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
PaidForByGovMint.com.
Have you heard? The United States Mint has issued the Morgan silver dollar for the first time in 100 years. Not only that, but they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 175,000 legal tender silver dollars were issued. These Morgan silver dollars are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins minted by the iconic Philadelphia Mint. Just call 1-800-859-1518 and you are guaranteed a new 99.9% pure silver Morgan dollar. The first time in history this has happened. But with limited quantities, you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-859-1518. If you order now, you will receive a free collector bonus, a $25.
Okay, it's Friday. Enough of the millennial song.
1-800-859-1518 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-859-1518.
Have you thought about who you'll support in the Senate runoff on June 21st? I just can't vote for Mo Brooks. It seems like he can't go 5 minutes without attacking President
Leave Mo alone.
Go on Mo too. He sure let us down by abandoning President Trump and his America First agenda. And don't even get me started on Mo's record of backing tax increases. So what do you think about Katie Britt? Oh, I know that President Trump has endorsed Katie. Trump called her an incredible fighter for the people of Alabama. That's what Alabama needs in the Senate. Someone who will fight for us. And Katie Britt is a true conservative.
A true conservative.
Fearless America First warrior. Katie's got my
M-I-A-L-E-L.
June 21st. If President Trump stands
Gotta love
then I do too.
Yeah.
AlabamaChristians.com.
There's nothing like hearing the songs you love on local radio with no subscriptions and no monthly fees. But there's a new bill in Congress that could stop the music. If passed, this bill would tax your local radio station simply to play the music you love. Text local to 52886 and ask Congress to support local radio stations. Help us keep you connected to the music, local news, weather, and traffic that you need each day. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
This is the Sean Hannity Show. Join me every afternoon at 2 right here on News Radio 1440.
It's as high as a mountain and harder to climb.
That's right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in to the J.L. Lane Truck and Auto hour of our show. It is 7:08, close to it, somewhere close like that. Depending on where you're, if you're in the East Coast, then it's like 8:08. If you're in Seattle, it's like 5:08, something like that. Maybe we should get out of this daylight savings time and all that stuff, because I'm all confused. I don't know what time it is in Honolulu. I got the friends over there too. Good morning, guys. What else is going on? Anyway, don't forget, okay, our new sponsor, that's right, J.L. Lane Truck and Auto, JLLaneTruckandAuto.com, and you can find yourself one of the best automobile deals that you're going to find. They are one of the premier pre-loved dealerships in this city. Okay, they're good folks. Okay, here's what you do: you go online, okay, and you can take a look at the inventory. It's a good selection, from Lexuses to Hyundais to Fords, you name it, they have it. Okay, so give them a call, and you don't need the world's best credit. You can buy there and you can pay there. Okay, so you don't have to worry about trying to go through GMC and the bank and all that stuff, because they provide you with those services, so you don't have to go kiss the ring of somebody else who don't even live here. Okay, they don't know you. They don't know your struggle. They don't know you've been working your whole life. They don't care. But Lane Corporation, they care. Okay, they know that things don't always go the way they should. They know that sometimes the record, your credit record, doesn't tell the whole story. Okay, so give them a call. Really, seriously, give them a call because they want to help you. 272-4313. And again, I'll just give you a couple things, a couple cards they got. Oh, let me go to the inventory thing here. Let's see what's on tap for today. Let's say you want a 2014 Jeep Patriot Latitude, 13.2. Can't beat it. Red. Everybody likes red cars. How about a 2005 Lexus RX 330, 12.8? Okay, I'm great. 139,000 miles. That means that it's just now getting broke in. Okay, 18 miles in the city, 24 miles a gallon on the freeway. How about a 2006 Ford F-250 SD XL X-Ray Lima, 12.5? How about a 2013 Ford Explorer base model, 12.2? You can't beat. I mean, listen, it don't get much better than that. How about a 2002 Ford F-150 King Ranch, 10.4? Come on now. So I'm just saying, you need to go down there and see. Here's one, a 2002 Toyota 4Runner. Okay, but it's a great car. Okay, we don't look at mileage, 143,000 miles. It's just now getting broken into. Okay, I'm just telling. How about you want a Subaru Legacy Premium 8.5? I'm just telling you. So all you got to do, pick up the phone. Okay, give them a call. Now, a lot of these cars are getting kind of sold, you know, so you might want to get over there while they're picking is good. And of course, I don't have everything on the website, but go there, and if you want something, I think they can figure out a way to get it for you. Okay, so give them a call. Okay, again, buy here, pay here. So just you're honest with them, they'll be honest with you, and the cars have undergone an extensive what do you call that, inspection. So they're not selling you no junk. Okay, so give them a call. And what's that number again? Everybody all together, 272-4313. Okay, that's J.L. Lane Truck and Auto, or jllanetruckandauto.com. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is News Radio 1440. Now, what are we going to talk about today? Okay, you know, there was a well, first of all, let me get my friends out there at the ladies place out there near Kilby, who are being treated so bad out there yesterday. And I realized that your people out there are buttholes. Okay, really, I realized that, you know, they go home every day, you know, and so they don't really care much about you. They're just doing their job, you know. And I understand them too. They, you know, they start caring about everybody. You know, I get that. But there's a way to treat people humanitarian. Okay. Again, if you put your dog in a car, okay, and the car gets hot, somebody gonna be charged with animal cruelty. But it seems that you put people in prison with the same heat, we say they deserve it. I don't know. I don't quite understand. That kind of mentality. But okay. Anyway, here's what I did. Now, I don't know what's going to happen, what they're going to do, but yesterday I reached out to a senator and a member of the House of Representatives to at least check into what's going on. I don't, you know, I mean, hell, anybody can end up in prison. In America today, just because you're out there, it don't mean you did it. And just because you're not out there, don't mean you shouldn't be. Okay. So I'm just saying I don't, you know, I'm not soft on crime, but you know what? I believe if the dog need a break, we need a break as human beings. And Mr. Ham, who is the guy that is in charge of our prison system now, I mean, I just think, again, he's been there 6 months, and I know 6 months is not a long time, but let me ask something. If you're in a hot place and the temperatures are over 100 degrees, 6 minutes is a long time. Okay, I don't know what you can do about it. Put fans in the place or something like that. I don't know. And the stories I hear about the food out there, and being a former mess sergeant, you know, I'm familiar with food. You know, I'm familiar with food. You know, but again, what gets me in this state, your dog, they can put you in jail for having a dog in a car with the windows up. But we'll put people in prison in the state of Alabama, and it's hot as hell out there, and people getting stabbed every day. You know, let me put it to you this way, okay? And then I want to be done with it because I got something else I want to talk about. If there is a dog being stabbed every day in your house, the SPC or whatever the name of that place is would be at your house. We can't go a couple of weeks in Alabama without somebody getting killed in the prison system. Killed, just dead. Now, if that happened in your house or your dog, they would have everybody at your house taking you to jail and your dogs to someplace else. Do we really have such disregard for people if they happen to have made a couple of mistakes along the way that we don't think their lives is as valuable as dogs? I ask that to the people of Alabama and to the administrators of our prison system. Do we really not think these people's lives are worth much as dogs? I'm just asking the question. Anyway, I reached out to a couple I won't tell you who they were. I reached out to a couple of legislators yesterday, and they were receptive of my concerns. And you never know, I may have about to one day, I may do something stupid. You never know. So I want to be treated like a human being. I'm just saying. Yeah. So anyway, I'll let those guys. I just want to give. When you lose hope, life ain't worth anything. And if we put these people in these prisons and they all lose hope because they feel that, and don't tell me how much a Christian you are until you be concerned about the people who are incarcerated also. Because we are admonished by the good Lord to look out after them too. Okay, and the state has an obligation, even the Supreme Court says, when you are in the custody of the government, they have an obligation to look out for your welfare. Okay, I didn't say treat you like a kid. I ain't saying give you ice cream on Friday, but they have an obligation by law and by moral commitment to look out after you. Okay, because everybody there don't belong there. Some people there because they didn't have enough money to have a lawyer that was decent. And when you got a public defender who has 40 cases, trust me, you somewhere on the list, but we don't know where. And that's all I got to say about that. Anyway, good morning to you. So I hope my legislators get together and they all talk and they figure something out. We just want people to be treated fairly. Okay, we don't have to, okay, we don't have to give them king size beds and all that stuff, but we ought to give them water. Oh, one more thing, and maybe somebody can answer this question. It is my understanding that Church of the Highlands, whether it's right or not, I don't know, offered to do something about air conditioning in one of these prison places. And the Department of Corrections, from what I am told, turned them down. Now, if that is true, that's a shame and a disgrace. You won't put it in, they were going to put it in, and we won't let them. So is the job, I thought it was the Department of Corrections. Anyway, I don't know. But I had not validated that, but I don't think these people would lie. Anyway, 860-1440 number here before I get to my main thing this morning. Good morning, who's this? Yeah.
We can talk all that stuff, but do you think he helps you through he rides on a bus home every day?
He walks.
He walks home?
Yeah.
Okay, what are some thugs, what y'all call thugs, do a drive-by trying to shoot at somebody else and shoot me?
They do. Wait.
About how Z and brag about how Z was big for his life before he got killed. Would you want this individual to have nice, cool ass in prison?
Let me ask you a question. When the
Answer mine first.
I'm gonna answer your question with the question. Wait, I'm gonna answer your question with a question. And that question when you can't wait a minute, you can't answer my question like me. Let me answer. Let me answer your question, and then we can continue. When the oppressed become the oppressor, what is the difference? When we become like the crooks we despise, we're no different. When we start treating people the way they do, we're no different than they are.
Let me be point blank to you then.
Yes.
Since you can't answer the question.
I can answer.
If someone killed my kid,
Okay.
I don't give a damn if he sweat like a mule up in there and die. Okay? But that's not the reason I called.
Oh.
Because the state of Alabama thinks that we can't get shooting in churches and all that. Just here just had a shooting last night in a church.
I saw that, yeah.
Did somebody in the church have a gun to protect these people?
Well, they can carry a gun in church. By law, they can carry a gun in church.
I know that, but what I'm saying now, these people around here talking about giving people guns and giving everybody guns, but that's not gonna solve it. So you can move into these fancy neighborhoods and think you're running away from the criminal and all that above, but you still subject to getting shot or getting robbed like Pike Road. So us as citizens got to stick together and take the city back where you live. Stop running from everything. Taking the kids out of school, running across town and going to these charter schools. Let's take everything back, people. Instead of letting the criminal have his way. Then the criminal get in prison and want academics.
Well, but again, if you do something to your dog, if your dog gets hot, they wait. Are you telling me that a dog deserves to be treated better? Are you telling me a dog deserves to be treated better than a human being?
Yes or no? If somebody shot me, would you want him to have AC?
I don't think AC would be on my mind. Okay. I can't answer, but that's why you should. That is why. And listen, I probably wouldn't care. Right, I probably wouldn't care either. But here's the problem. That is why. That is why people. That is why people who have been affected by somebody's behavior can't. Right, we can't be on the jury. Right. Okay. All right. Appreciate it. Again, everybody has the right to do it. But that's why when you go before a trial or jury or for set on the jury, if you have been affected by somebody's behavior, you can't set on the trial. You can't be in the jury. Because you're right, it is a personal issue to you. You will not be objected. And I got somebody hurt my boy, I will not be objected. I'll put on some camouflage, I'll put on my boots, lace them up, find my camouflage, and I will raise havoc. I will try to take him out. Ain't no doubt about it. I'll wrap up my face and I'll grab all the training I've ever had, and I will take him out. That is why you cannot be on the jury, okay? I'm no longer objective when it comes to that. Nobody is. When your emotions, you hurt somebody's child, look here, you put it this way, a bear can be nice to you, but you hurt their child, you hurt their little cub, yeah, you finna catch hell. So, what can I tell you? I'm like every other parent that ever lived. You can hurt me, you can talk about me, you can dog me, that's fine, but you dog my child, you hurt him, you have got hell on earth on your hands. That's why I probably wouldn't be it would not be good for anybody who's been affected by that kind of behavior to be on a jury. We couldn't do it. All right. Anyway, gotta take a break. And we'll be back to get to my main subject. I still haven't got to. We need to talk about something that's going on in the city of Montgomery, and see what some of you folks think about this issue with this election we just had, and we got somebody that's evidently fitting to go that is in line to go on to go on the family court, who has had their own issues with family. So I don't know if that's fair to the rest of us, but did the NCDC or did the voters make a mistake? And did they do their due diligence to vet people running for office? Or in Alabama, do you just gotta, in Montgomery, Alabama, do you just gotta say I'm a Democrat and you get depending who's bringing them around to you, you get the votes. We'll be back.
This time the girl is going to stay.
Weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples has your workspace covered with furniture and
This
organization.
time the girl is going to stay.
25% off storage and filing products, chair mats, decor, and lighting with the purchase of a desk or office chair. In-store only offer N17. Staples, the working and learning store.
The heat wave continues today. High temperatures around 100 degrees, sun and clouds. It will be very humid. A heat advisory in effect. It will feel as high as 110. There could be a few isolated showers and storms this afternoon into this evening, but coverage only around 30%. I would not rely on rain to cool you off. Around 100 again tomorrow, sun and clouds. I don't think there's going to be much rain, but about a 20% chance of showers and storms. And then it's dry for Father's Day, around 96.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Slide-Watch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker.
This time the girl is going to stay. I want to today. Just can't help believing.
Area. You see something giving you trouble with traffic safety, contact us. We'll pass the info along. At ReinhardtToyota.com, you can see and purchase vehicles that are on order and haven't even arrived yet. Get the Toyota you want at ReinhardtToyota.com. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
You love your car, yes. But why are you not loving it with those tires that carry you and your family?
Got it, I'm
Show some love with our super savings on tires. Chico's Auto Pro.
Hey, Sean Hannity here, and now you can hear me live every afternoon. It all starts at 2, and it's all happening right here on News Radio 1440.
Here we go again.
What's that?
This
Mo
time
Brooks is running for office yet again. How long has he been running? Brooks has been running for something since 1982.
That's 40 years.
Pretty good career for a politician. Yeah, been in office for so long, even Trump is sick of it. Now, if you thought Mo's attacking President Trump was bad,
Come on, man. That ain't fair.
let's just say he's got a long career with a lot of taxes.
Property taxes,
Mo wanted to raise them.
sales taxes,
Mo's wanted to increase the sales tax too.
and income taxes.
Mo's voted to raise income taxes. In Congress, Mo even voted against the Bush tax cuts. Twice.
Twice.
Yep, twice. Prices are up just about everywhere. Sending Mo to the Senate would make things even worse.
Mo Brooks, more like Mo taxes.
You said it. Alabama Rhino PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising. Paid for by the Alabama Rhino PAC and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. AlabamaRhino.com.
Hi, I'm Brent Woodall, and I'm running for Public Service Commission Place 1. I'm running for this office because the incumbent, who has been there for almost a decade, has failed to eliminate the hidden tax at the PSC. A lot of people don't know about the tax that ratepayers of the utilities pay on their utility bills. My opponent didn't even know about it until he heard me talk about it. Maybe that's because he spends so much time at resorts on junkets outside Alabama. If he were at the office more, he might learn a lot about what goes on at the PSC. I'm a conservative.
The man is out there looking out for you.
Republican executive committees in Alabama. Chaired a Young Republicans chapter, was the state treasurer of the Young Republicans, and in 2016, I was a delegate for President Donald Trump at the Republican National Convention. I hope you agree with me that it's wrong to make people pay a tax on their utility bill. I'll get rid of that tax, but I need your help. Vote Brent Woodall on June 21st for Public Service Commission Place 1.
Paid for by the committee to elect Brent Woodall, P.O. Box 740594, Tuscumbia, Alabama. Oh!
Who's that? Heck of a shot. Oh, that's Jeremy Oden. You mean
Always toting Oden.
Oh! Yeah, that's the one. Always toting Jeremy Oden. Dang, he's busted every clip so far. Well, that's what Jeremy Oden does. Real efficient. Kind of the way he runs the Public Service Commission. Shooting down higher energy prices and busting up Biden's socialist agenda. Oh! Ah, that's why he's always toting. Yep. Handpicked by Trump, right? Uh-huh. Trump knows he'll take aim at Biden's Green New Deal. Always fighting for Alabama jobs, lowering costs for Alabama families, and putting American energy first. Heck, sounds like I'll be voting for always toting. Jeremy Oden, yes, sir. Alabama's best shot.
Paid political advertisement. Jeremy H. Aden, P.O. Box 9, Eva, Alabama.
Oh!
Hey, hear me at my new time right here on the same great station. It's all happening every afternoon at 2, right here on News Radio 1440.
I got to tell you, I had never heard this song before. Mark Montiel played this song, and I thought it was kind of crazy. It's a great song. Anyway, 860-1440 is our number. You want to give us a call, love to talk to you, whatever on your mind this morning. Agree or disagree with me, that's fine. But if you're going to disagree with me, at least put an argument up that's reasonable. I'm just saying. Crazy! Okay, good morning. Who's this?
You don't need to listen to any more songs talking about being crazy.
I know.
Hey, have you made an attempt, or maybe you already have, been out to the women's facility out there at Kilby?
No, I haven't, because I went out to, what's the place out there by Dozier Road? Not Tutwiler. There's one, well, I guess that is Kilby. I have been out there, but I sat out there in the hot sun. It was about a year ago I went out there. I sat there, and I went out there to do some computer work. And they kept me outside the gate, so I had to leave. I said, well, and I mean, so they just treated like I was a nobody and just let me sit out the gate in the hot ass sun. So I know it's hot in there. It was hot to me, and they never even came back to the gate and let me in.
Well, did you have your windows rolled up with no air conditioning on?
No, I was standing outside at the gate, standing there, because you got to park in the parking lot, and you got to walk up there. And so I said, some company had called me to go out there to about 2 years ago to go out there to work on a computer system, and they just let me standing out there, man.
I've been there and done that. I used to, about 5 years ago, I used to go out on a regular basis and share information to pre-release inmates, women and men, to try to keep them from going back in about domestic violence, about how not to get involved in a crazy relationship. But anyway, I would stand there by the tower. If you're facing Kilby, the tower to the left, and that tower guard, you'd have to put your gun in the bucket, do all this stuff, put your computer in there, and raise it up, and then they let you go through the gate. But anyway, I'm going to a meeting at 10 o'clock, and there's going to be a high-ranking official with corrections there.
Okay.
If you don't mind, I'm going to give him your name and number and see if you can set up a meeting to go out there and view it and come back and tell us what you see.
And I would love to do that, because I'm tired of these people going through all the hell they have to go through out there, at least from what I understand. Now, you're right, it's nothing better than seeing it for yourself, but I would appreciate that, because I will go. I certainly will go. Yeah, absolutely.
And to give you a baseline, according to the ACLU, last year in the state of 2021, last year, out of the 20,000 so inmates that are in the state correction system, disregarding the 300 that are in county jails waiting to go in, 37 died due to violence, drugs, or suicide. So 12 under 37. So 37, one's too many, but 37, just give you some information, 37 died in the state correctional system last year, including Kilby, of violence, drugs, and or suicide.
And we are violating their oath and their responsibility to protect these people.
Well, if they get involved in drug activity, if they get involved in...
But how do drugs get in there?
Because there's multiple ways they get in there. They get in there from family members delivering drugs into...
Doesn't everybody go through a search when they go in there?
Yeah, but there are body cavities that they put them in that they can't search. There's also people that deliver
goods and services to corrections. They get them in that way. It's just they get them in through cards. They're bought and sold. You have to be constantly visual of that. And it's just like with the cell phones. They throw them over the fence when they're out there on the yard exercising. And they try to keep cell phones out of the prison.
Well, out of all the things you say, I don't know why we can't let people have a cell phone, because when I get these calls, these people got to pay an outrageous amount of money to make a phone call to their loved ones or somebody else. That's crazy.
Well, they're also setting up an escape plan too, just like you saw with what happened up there in North Alabama. They're also using to have a higher hit on somebody that's they're coming up for a hearing, and they can get higher hit on the witness or a prosecutor or a judge. So if there's multiple reasons they don't let them in, but one good reason is, and I've always been there, that prison is supposed to be a deterrent. It's not supposed to be someplace you want to go. It's not someplace back in the day, there used to be plenty of prison space. There weren't overcrowded prisons, but we flooded them with drugs, with drug offenders back in the day. But prison is not supposed to be a place you want to go.
No, but don't you think taking big rocks and turning them into little rocks with a sledgehammer will make a brother not want to come back? Not treat them like worse than we treat dogs. I mean, make them work, make them do something. I mean, but to treat people worse than you do dogs, I just somehow that's going to motivate.
You can't make them work. You can't used to. That's what would happen if you didn't work. You didn't eat.
Right.
They can't do that anymore. They can't put them out on a work detail if they refuse to go. And you can't make them like in the city. Captain Hardy used to get the inmates out of jail in the hot summertime and take them out, and they pick up trash
On the streets, yeah.
Yeah, and they said that was cruel. And even the mayor came on here and said, we can't do that anymore. It's bad for them. But
so we rather they stay in a hot ass prison all day long with nothing to do, rather than get out and get some air.
Well, they got plenty to do. Have you ever seen some of those that come out of there? They're all buffed up. They can pump iron now.
Yeah.
They can pump iron.
Well, that's all they let them do. If they can't do anything else.
No, they can read books. They've got a law library that huge law library. They can sit there and research their cases and do it. So they've got TVs in there. So they can do other things. But all I'm saying is, prison is a place that you don't want to go.
Well, and that's true. That's true.
If you make it where you don't fear prison, then okay.
But we losing more people in prison than we're losing in the Army in combat.
We lost 37 in the state of Alabama last year due to violence, drugs, and suicide.
Yeah. Well. Oh well. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna give you name and information today, and hopefully he will.
Hopefully he will. Okay.
Y'all can set up a meeting, go out there and get yourself.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate it. 860-1440 is the number you want to give us a call. Good morning. Still got to get back to my subject here. Good morning.
Good morning, friend.
Morning, Ed.
How you guys doing up here?
I'm doing fine.
Calvin. But your people, three people tell me to share every moment. But it's what to say too, because it's so important for me. It should everybody. It should be important for everybody. But it's so good that God y'all know. Isn't that great, Calvin? Yes, I'm sure you said yes. You're loud, but it's great, God. We all going to stand before God and give an account what we have said and what we have done and all that, Kevin. But I want to give some words to know about what's going on, because we all going to stand before God and be judged. I mean, it's that simple, but people don't want to think about it and people don't want to talk about it because they're doing some bad things, I guess. I don't know. But we're going to have to think about it. God says so beautiful. And I'm going to find him really late tonight. God said, I'm going to make them. I am going to make them hear my word. W-O-R-D-S, word. I'm going to make them. And he said, make. And he came. I'm going to make them hear my word. He said, don't hear God's word. No, he don't hear everything else except what God said. But God said he don't make them. And then he said, he'll keep his children. They still, if they don't feel me, and they don't keep their children to feel me. And then I'm going to find, I'm going to read it to you. I read it last night, and I should have brought it with me in the morning while I'm speaking. But can you think about it? Look what's going on now. Look what's going on in the world today. They don't want to see what God is doing. They don't want to know what God is doing. And what fool said, there is no God. They put in the heart. There is no God. Like fool don't believe in God. They don't need God. So we have nothing to do with God. But tell I don't sit by me on a thing. No, we speak each other. Worrying about this and that and that. So go home and be good. Have a good day, my friend.
All right, there, Mr. Ed. Lady K, I don't really haven't listened to her. She is going to sing downtown, I guess, for Montgomery's Juneteenth Federal. The American Idol Top 10 finalists celebrated and sang in Tuskegee last weekend and toured the Commodores Museum and spoke to Lionel Richie. Saturday's Juneteenth Festival at Montgomery holds a special meaning for her. They call her Lady K. It'll be her first show in the city. She says, I'm really excited. The Juneteenth Festival starts at 6 p.m. Till 9 at Riverwalk Amphitheater and is free to attend. It's being organized by the Montgomery Department of Cultural Affairs. Along with Lady K, it'll feature jazz artist Amon Robinson and MGM Soul Collective. Professional aerialist Courtney Coleman, I don't know what that is, but I'm all right with it. A 2017 graduate of Alabama State University will be dancing, I guess he's a dancer, while suspended in the air. Right on. Okay. Things to know, though, if you're planning on participating in the celebration, you got to enter through the tunnel on Commerce Street and then take a right to get into the amphitheater. Bring your own lawn chairs and blankets. Coolers are allowed, but no alcoholic beverages. Okay. Okay, that means no beer. Beer is considered a little bit of alcohol. Okay, no beer, none of that. Okay, several food trucks will be on site. Okay, now let me say this one more time. So when I hear about you going to jail for doing something wrong, you know, coolers are allowed, but no alcohol or glass. Okay, so don't mess up a good thing. Okay, don't mess up a good thing. There will also be an HBCU Expo. The Divine Nine Black sororities and fraternities will be there promoting community services and projects. Artists will pay tribute to African American Music Appreciation Month. There will be a kid zone. Okay, several Black business owners will be there as vendors. I don't know who exactly is going to be there, but they're going to be there. The evening will be capped off by a fireworks display. Just for the record, we want the fireworks to come from the professionals. We don't want fireworks coming from you. Okay, leave your guns at home, leave your knives at home. Just come out to have a good time. Okay, I'm just saying, you don't screw it up, because we like to keep this thing going on, you know, and show folks that, yeah, you know, we can have a good time. We can get together as families and friends and no drama. Okay, no drama. Okay, I'm just hoping that works out all good for us. Also, speaking of people dying in prison, another man in the last couple of days at Donaldson Correctional Facility has died after being stabbed. So, you know, again, I guess when you put a bunch of men in a place or women in a place and you don't have anything for them to do but get hot, I guess temperatures rise and emotions rise, and we ought to do a better. We got to come up with a better way than what we do. Anyway, especially if you're in there for drugs, I can understand if you're in there for killing somebody, maybe you forfeit a lot of rights. But I don't know. We do it. Our correction system in America just sucks. I don't know what we can do. I ain't in charge of that. But we need to do something. Anyway, we'll be back right after this. Oh, yeah, and to get to my main subject again, I haven't got to it. I keep getting other places here. We'll be back.
Weather forecast on News Radio 14.
Oh, nothing.
Staples Free PC Tune-Up event is this Saturday and Sunday. Bring your existing PC to any Staples to improve your startup and operating speeds and junk file removal. Plus, get free tune-up software good for a year. Now it in store on existing Windows devices only. Appointments encouraged by phone or in store. Staples.
The heat wave continues today. High temperatures around 100 degrees, sun and clouds. It will be very humid. A heat advisory in effect. It will feel as high as 110. There could be a few isolated showers and storms this afternoon into this evening, but coverage only around 30%. I would not rely on rain to cool you off. Around 100 again tomorrow, sun and clouds. I don't think there's going to be much rain, but about a 20% chance of showers and storms, and then it's dry for Father's Day around 96.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Good news continues. Still no major problems or accidents are being reported by the authorities to send anyone on an alternate route. We're going to do traffic flow maps. Things are all moving smoothly. You keep listening, and we will keep you posted. From a simple patient transport to life and death situations, Haynes Ambulance is there for you both on the ground and in the air. Haynes Ambulance, ready at a moment's notice. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
You love your car, yes, but why are you not loving it with those tires that carry you and your family everywhere? Let Chico's Auto Pros show some love with our super savings on tires. Chico's Auto Pros.
Here's a message just for the attorneys out there. So you passed the bar, joined a firm, or even built your own. Now are you finding out that you're doing more administration than actual law practice? Lexicon can help. Lexicon is a legal technology provider with over a decade of experience streamlining administrative tasks like timekeeping, billing, and more, so you can focus on maximizing billable hours and increasing client satisfaction. Call 855-4-LEXICON or visit lexiconservices.com/go to learn more.
Venture X from Capital One is the travel card for people always asking,
where next?
You earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars, and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel, and 2x miles on everything else you buy with Venture X. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Attention River Region. Don't wait on one of those internet companies to hopefully call you back. You'll be disappointed even if they do. Just Blinds and Travel is here to make sure your home has the look and feel of the best American-made window treatments, including motorization and smart home options. Your guests will love them as much as you do. For over 35 years, Just Blinds has been the trusted local source for quality, beauty, and customer satisfaction, serving Lake Martin, Auburn, and the River Region.
Your Montgomery Biscuits are ready to take on the 2022 season with the best fans in minor league baseball. Join us for a summer full of themed weekends, celebrations, and the best biscuits in town. For ticket information, go to biscuitbaseball.com or call the box office at 323-BALL.
$49 down delivery. Hey, Montgomery Prattville, that part's the deal with Budget Farm truck sales. That's right, $49 down delivery. Shop over 300 late model light view cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, convertibles, sports cars, America's finest. Starting with prices of $6,900 and $49 down delivery. Yep, think your credit report's a little messy? Been told no in the past? Bankruptcy, medical bills, or even a foreclosure. Budget treats everyone with privacy and respect for all credit situations. I work with the banks and the lenders that understand your past and know you're more than just a number. You're number one to me. This special relationship allows us 100% credit approval gold. That's right, 100% credit approval gold. Get absolute top dollar for your car. We'll buy your car even if you don't buy one from us. No trade-in required. Oh, did I say $49 down delivery? Budget car and truck sale, 61 Mendale Parkway, Montgomery, or 508 McQueen Smith Road, Prattville. BuyBudgetOnline.com. That's BuyBudgetOnline.com.
I got smart about mortgages, smart about college.
When it comes to your money, whatever you want to get smart about, you can find it at smartaboutmoney.org, a free online resource from the nonprofit National Endowment for Financial Education. Smartaboutmoney.org, the easy place to start when you want to get smart.
It's Dan Bongino, every weekday from 2 till 5 p.m. right here on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
It's 7:50 in the morning. Man, where does time go when you're having fun? Don't forget, guys, this is for you. This is for you, okay? Now, I went and had mine checked. Now, you need to go have yours checked just to make sure, and I'm talking about your testosterone level, okay? Okay, because you may be suffering from a disease called low T, okay? The T stands for testosterone. And that is the substance in your body that makes you imano, the man that you want to be. Now, if you don't have a lot of testosterone, you may think you're a girl sometimes. I'm just saying, nothing wrong with that. Okay, I can't help you say. So you need to call, the Montgomery Men's Clinic. I went over there a couple of days ago, had my T checked. Tell you about that in a second, okay? Now, I already knew that I was all 100% man when I went over there. But, I just had to make sure I had to be validated, okay? So I'll go into the office. They treat me well. I'm feeling good. I wasn't embarrassed because when you're all man, you ain't embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I was afraid I may embarrass them being all men. They may have been a little jealous of some of that brother. But it didn't work. It worked out good. When I left there, nobody was crying, said they wanted to be like me or anything like that. But I'm just saying, I went over there. They took the blood out my arm, super B blood, super blood. Yeah. And we took it out. And I did my check, and the T came back high. See, because I knew there was only 3 conclusions that could have been reached when they took my T. I either had low T, high T, or sweet T. Now, some of y'all may have a little sweet T. I ain't mad at you, okay? Because we all got to be what we got to be. But when I walked out of there, I think everybody was jealous. I even the young guys were jealous. Okay, because the tea was so good. Okay, I'm just saying. So if you're feeling sluggish, if you're feeling like you don't know where you're coming or going, and listen, if you're wondering whether or not you still got what it takes to get the ladies, well, you may need to go over and get your tea checked. Okay, because if you are lethargic, and that means like just if you get to the point you just don't care, yeah, you need to go over there. Okay. And energy, if you don't have energy to do that, I got more energy I can give somebody something. Okay, I'm just saying, okay, because the tea is good. Matter of fact, the doctor probably felt pretty bad when he checked my tea and found out I was in such great shape with tea until he probably got a little jealous of me. I think they took, but anyway, go give him a call, 440-3663. Now I can walk around all day long not wondering if I got low T. Okay, and I don't have sweet tea, so I got high tea. I'm just saying. So give them a call, make that appointment. Okay, it's only $99, but you'll get your PSA check too. That's your prostate something. I don't exactly know where the prostate is, but I know it's down there someplace. Okay, and they checked it, and the levels were good. So okay, I realize everybody can't be as much man as I am, but hey, you can get close. I'm just saying. So, but you won't know where you are until you go down there, till you go see him. Okay? It'll change your life. Trust me, it will. I walked out of there. I walked in there 5'6"3/4. I walked out of there 6'2" in my mind. In my mind. In my mind. Okay. I mean, I really think I was 6'2", That's like thinking I'm a girl. Anyway, so give them a call, 334-440-3663, and you'll be glad that you did. All right? Earlier, and I don't have time to get, but we're certainly going to have a conversation about this later on. What does the Democratic Party do when a candidate is not totally, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not looking for the word, what's the word? I'm candid about their past, and they get the approval of the organization just to find out later on that they weren't exactly candid about their past. So now, and which is what we have in this situation with Sabrina Martin and Fernando Morgan. However, Fernando's got nothing to do with this, but they put somebody in, they let somebody in office on the ballot, and evidently she won, and now they want to remove her. And now, again, I don't know if that's even fair, but I don't know the bylaws. I don't know what the bylaws say, the ACD, DC, MCD, whatever they are. I don't know what their bylaws say, but it would seem to me, not just me, it would seem to me that if I win a primary, because people voted for me, regardless if they didn't do their due diligence, that I won the seat fair and square. Now, herein lies the question. Do the people at this organization have a right to go back and tell Sabrina Martin, well, you know, you weren't exactly candid with us, and some people knew about these things before the election, and because they didn't bring them out, is that her fault? On the other hand, what would you feel like going in front of a judge who has the authority to take your children when her children were taken? Well, for whatever reason, what would you? I don't know. Here's a question: does she have the moral authority to set in judgment of others, even though she was judged by others and her kids were taken? And I've read some of the excerpts of some of the court records on what some of the alleged abuses were. But again, if you are out there and that record and all that information is in the public record, but I still win, does the organization that gave me my, what do you call that when they tell somebody that, yeah, we want you to vote for her? I forgot exactly. My mind ain't what it used to be. When they advocate for you being elected. So should we blame the candidate, or should we blame the system that produced and supported the candidate? I really don't know. I mean, I'm an American, you know, and I think, hey, to the victor go the spoils. She won. And if they do decide to do something, shouldn't the other guy that was in it, shouldn't not Fernando Morgan actually be the presumptive winner, or do we have a new election? Or does the governor or somebody get to appoint somebody? This is going to be messy. Okay, this is going to be messy. So I don't know, but it'd be nice to have that conversation, because the MCDC or whatever that organization is, they got themselves in a bind. And all I'm hearing now, they're going to rescind the nomination. Well, I don't know if you can just do that, but I don't know what the bylaws say. Anyway, we'll be back. Uno momento. And I expect to hear from some of you folks on this issue, because you might be in front of her. Would you want to go in front of her with a family issue? I don't know. We'll be back.
News update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Jet Davis. Here's what's happening in the news on this Friday.
2 people are dead, a third person injured after shots were fired inside an Alabama church in Estates Hills. It happened in Cahaba Heights near Birmingham at the St. Stephen's Episcopal Church. Police say the shooter came inside during a small group meeting and opened fire. Suspect is now in custody. No word on a motive. Still no word from 2 Alabama veterans missing in Ukraine while helping in the fight against Russia. Andy Wynn and Alexander Druki both volunteered to help the Ukrainian army. Wynn is from Lawrence County. Druki is a native of Tuscaloosa. Military officials say they went missing while fighting in Kharkiv back on June 9th. One day after the Federal Reserve raised its key rate by 3/4 of a point, trying to slow inflation, average long-term mortgage rates made their biggest jump in 35 years. Mortgage buyer Freddie Mac reported the 30-year rate climbed from 5.23% last week to 5.78% this week. That's your news on this Friday.
WLWI AM, the home of the Ben Shapiro Show, and heard on 95.1 HD3 FM.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Fabric Life Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. We got news from overseas this morning. Ukraine is a step closer to becoming a member of the EU.
European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen says before Russia launched war on Ukraine, Kyiv had spent years working on reforms which move it closer to European Union membership.
Ukraine has clearly demonstrated the country's aspiration and determination to live up to European values and standards.
All 27 EU governments also have to agree to grant Kyiv candidate status, and their willingness to do so is far from certain. Leaders will take up the question at a summit next week. Terry Schultz for CBS News, Brussels.
Correspondent Cammie McCormick has an update on Americans missing in Ukraine.
The State Department now says it's aware of reports of a third American who may be missing. At least 2 of them were believed to be fighting alongside Ukrainian forces when they were last heard from. State Department spokesman Ned Price says the U.S. has not yet reached out to the Russian government, but is prepared to.
If the Russians were to claim that they had such individuals, I assume we would pursue that. If we had credible reason to believe that these individuals were in Russian custody, we would pursue that as appropriate.
After years of legal wrangling, the British government has ordered Julian Assange extradited. Correspondent Holly Williams at the Foreign Desk.
The WikiLeaks founder is wanted for violating the Espionage Act in the US after publishing hundreds of thousands of leaked, classified US government documents, including military logs and diplomatic cables in 2010. Assange's lawyers have been fighting extradition by arguing that he's at risk of suicide if he's incarcerated in an American Supermax prison.
Former Trump White House advisor Peter Navarro will be arraigned later today. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
Navarro was indicted earlier this month on contempt of Congress charges for refusing to testify before the committee investigating the January 6th riot at the Capitol. The committee wanted to talk to Navarro about his efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. Navarro had asked the court for a 45-day extension before his arraignment. The judge refused that extension.
Average gas prices have actually dropped about a penny, but still, our Jim Krasula finds
it's costing Thomas Jennings a lot more to fill up his pickup truck.
It's over $100 when it used to be around about $75. It's constantly going up. It goes down for half a second, goes up for 2 more seconds.
The national average for a gallon of regular gas this time last year was $3.08.
Just in. WWE says CEO Vince McMahon stepping down as the board investigates allegations he paid an employee $3 million to stay quiet about an alleged affair. And we're just learning the U.S. has authorized first COVID-19 shots for kids under 5. CDC's ruling is next. This is CBS News.
Brought to you by Fabric. Parents, cross off life insurance from your to-do list today with affordable term life insurance from Fabric. Apply now. List free at meetfabric.com/future.
Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now's the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 800-711-6818 and we'll rush your order discreetly packaged to your door. Been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? Call U.S. Pharmacy at 800-711-6818 for as little as only $119 for 90 pills. Need your package in a hurry? Call 800-711-6818 and ask about our express shipping option, and we'll rush your order to you as soon as possible. Save money on this little blue or yellow pill you've been wanting to try. Again, 800-711-6818 now. That's 800-711-6818.
There's a new museum for stoners in Southern California. KCBS TV's Michelle Gili has the story. Here is Michelle.
Prolific Chicano art collector Cheech Marine, best known as the cannabis-loving actor-comedian who performed alongside Tommy Chong, has a new credit on his list.
Good morning, buenos dias, and welcome to the Cheech. Okay?
The Cheech is the nickname for Riverside's new Cheech Marine Center for Chicano Art and Culture. His private collection of more than 700 paintings and works, thought to be the largest in the world, will now be permanently housed in the old downtown library.
A WNBA star is retiring.
I was like, oh, this is going to be my last time in New York, my last time playing for my family and friends.
Seattle Storm's 41-year-old Sue Byrne explaining why she made her decision to announce before playing the Liberty. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
President Trump is endorsing Katie Britt for the United States Senate, and he wants you to get out to vote on June 21st. Katie Britt is tough as nails on illegal immigration. She's a pro-life mother of two, and she's a conservative tax cutter who knows how to create jobs for hard-working Alabamians.
I'm Katie Britt, and I am honored to be endorsed by President Trump. From day one, I've been fighting for his America First agenda. I fought to put pro-life conservatives on the Supreme Court, pass Trump's tax cuts, and I fought to build the wall. As Alabama Senator, I'll take on the Biden liberals and fight every day for our Christian conservative values that make America great.
On June 21st, vote for Christian conservative Katie Britt. She's endorsed by President Trump, and she puts America first.
I'm Katie Britt, and I approve this message, and I would be honored to earn your vote.
Paid for by Britt for Alabama Inc.
Oh! Who's that? Heck of a shot. Oh, that's Jeremy Oden. You mean always toting Jeremy Oden? Oh!
Yeah, that's the one. Always toting Jeremy Oden.
Dang, he's busted every play so far.
Well, that's what Jeremy Oden does. Real efficient. Kind of the way he runs the Public Service Commission. Shooting down higher energy prices and busting up Biden's socialist agenda.
Oh! Ah, that's why he's always toting.
Yep.
Handpicked by Trump, right?
Trump knows he'll take aim at Biden's Green New Deal. Always fighting for Alabama jobs, lowering costs for Alabama families, and putting American energy first.
Heck, sounds like I'll be voting for always toting.
Jeremy Oden. Yes, sir. Alabama's best shot.
Paid political advertisement. Jeremy H. Oden, P.O. Box 9, Eva, Alabama.
Oh!
It's a fact. Guys hate going to the doctor. But when it comes to erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues, men from all over Montgomery have been thrilled seeing Dr. Alderson and the providers at Montgomery Men's Health. Men all the way up to 95 years old have jump-started their sex drive and energy levels. Lots of men suffer with ED for years, but now they're able to enjoy sex again. Tom from Montgomery said, Montgomery Men's Health has changed my life. I have been able to be intimate with my wife for the first time in 5 years. She thought this problem was because of her, but the pills never worked for me. I had given up until I went to the clinic and realized there's more options for erectile dysfunction. Now I'm happy and my wife is happy. A visit for only $99, and that includes all testing, including a PSA and testosterone test. Give the guys at the clinic a call at 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Paid for by government.com.
Have you heard? The United States Mint has issued the Morgan Silver Dollar for the first time in 100 years. Not only that, but they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 175,000 legal tender silver dollars were issued. These Morgan silver dollars are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins minted by the iconic Philadelphia Mint. Just call 1-800-859-1518 and you are guaranteed a new $9.9 per silver Morgan dollar. The first time in history this has happened. But with limited quantities, you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-859-1518. If you order now, you will receive a free collector bonus, a $25 value free with every order. Call 1-800-859-1518 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-859-1518.
When it's time to get a new vehicle, Larry Puckett Chevrolet is the best place to find your new used car. New cars, SUVs, and trucks are being delivered daily, and Larry Puckett has their largest selection of pre-owned vehicles in over a year. Check them out online at LarryPuckett.com or visit them on Cobbsford Road in Prattville. And if you have an extra vehicle, bring it in for an instant cash offer. Whether you're selling or trading, your vehicle will never be worth more. Larry Puckett Chevrolet, where the customers do the talking.
He's the voice of the conservative millennial.
Ben Shapiro.
The Ben Shapiro Show. Tonight at 8 on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
Like a comet blazing across the evening sky, gone too soon.
Out of all the things that I do on the radio, this has got to be one of the hardest things to do that you do on the air. You got to keep your composure and keep it together at the same time. Montgomery County leader Elton Dean will lie in state today at the county courthouse. Montgomery will say goodbye to one of its longest serving leaders today. Longtime County Commission Chairman Elton Dean will lie in state for a public viewing from 1 o'clock this afternoon until 6 at 101 South Lawrence Street in the County Commission building. Dean died Tuesday after a lengthy illness. His alma mater, Alabama State University, will honor him with a celebration of life starting at noon tomorrow at the ASU Acadome. A county spokesman said Dean will be interned at Greenwood Cemetery, 909 Lincoln Road, at the time to be announced in the coming days. Dean served on the commission for 22 years, working across partisan lines and advocating for local needs. He had served as commission chairman since 2009. He was ill for several months, passed away peacefully with his family at his side. Our hearts go out to Dean's immediate and extended family during this difficult time. And we ask you to please keep them in your prayers and in your thoughts. So today, if you want to say goodbye to Elton Dean, you can do it from 1 to 6 at the downtown on Lawrence Street at the County Commission building. Farewell.
Gone too soon.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome back to our show this morning. It's kind of hard. It's just kind of hard to come back on the air after that. That kind of breaks my heart a little bit there, but oh well. I'm gonna keep going, I guess. Good morning. Who's this? Yes. Yes, Doug. Good morning.
Very nice. Very nice tribute. Very, very nicely done.
Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's, the divide Friday we'll lay there and stay with the county commission office today, 1 6, and then the funeral tomorrow. And you're exactly right. We'll be laying the rest. One of the all-time greats. One of the guys that probably got things better in Montgomery than anybody I've ever met before. He understood things. He understood how to bring people together. And he didn't look at what color you was or what political affiliation you were or anything. He's just one of those guys that he's got it. You know, he's the best.
Well, I am really glad that the relationship between you guys and the county commission has never been a place where I have, except when it came to voting on particular issues, but those were philosophical differences that sometimes we said it had to do with race, but it had to do with philosophy. You know, certain people believe certain things, other people believe certain things based on how they were raised. But the county commission, I will say, I never felt it was a race issue with you guys. It's strictly philosophy. If you're a Republican, you believe in certain principles. If you're a Democrat, you believe in certain principles. It's got nothing to do with color. It's got something to do with what you believe. And it never came across.
I've been on there 6 years, and I can't recall. I don't think we've ever had a vote along racial or political lines. You know, we've had some 3-2 votes, 4-1 votes, or whatever, but it's never been along racial or political lines. You know, when Elton Dean was first, when he was re-elected to county commission, my first time being on there 6 years ago, there was 2 Republicans. He won 3-2. There was 2 Republicans who voted for him to be chairman. So he wouldn't have been chairman if it wasn't for, I guess, the Republican vote. It didn't matter. You know, it wasn't. I didn't vote for him because he was a Democrat or black or Alabama State fan. I voted for him because I felt like he was the best for the job, and he's been the best for the job the 6 years I've been on there. You know, and he will. I have a hard time still when somebody says Chairman Singleton. Because I still feel like he's my chairman. You know? I mean, it bothers me. I had somebody say something to Chairman Singleton yesterday, and I'm like, no, I'm not chairman yet. I mean, that's after Saturday, you know.
Right.
There's a parking spot there in front of the county commission that says reserved for the chairman, and I just can't park it. I will one day.
Right.
I'm thinking, you know, over. I mean, because again, he's my chairman, and I'm gonna look forward to paying respect today, and then look forward to sharing tomorrow at the funeral. And I don't ever ask for prayers, but I'll ask for prayers tomorrow because that noon I'm gonna be speaking, and it's gonna be hard for me to get through it, and so I'm gonna need support.
I listen. I feel you. We would. I went home and buried my sister. I just had I had the speech already go. I mean, I'm gonna get up there, say my part, and I'm gonna just step down with some class. But brother, I cry like a baby.
You know, a few days after Elton had passed away, and I posted something on Facebook on it, and you know, it's pretty easy when you it's pretty easy to write or say something.
When it comes from the heart. Yeah, it does. It is.
Yeah. You don't have to sit there and try to feel what to say, but Brandon, his son, responded to my post with thanks, Uncle Doug. And, you know, that meant probably more to me than anything in my decision, and just because it told me that I get it. Maybe not as good as Elton got it, but I'm close. And so that was a heck of a compliment for him to call me Uncle Doug, because he meant it. He meant like I was a part of the family, and not just a phrase or saying. He knew that Elton and I were as brothers from a different mother, man. And I mean, that's not a saying. That was true. We were as close as we possibly could have been, and he did so much for me, and I'll never forget him, or I can't know where I could ever appreciate. The good thing is, I will say this: the good thing is I was able to tell him for many, many years now how much I love him. And it's not like I've got to wait to the funeral to say I love Elder Dean. You know, we looked each other in the eye and told each other we loved each other every day. And it was not a saying. It was from the heart. He knew I meant it. I knew he meant it. You know, I just kind of wish we had that, we could spread that, I guess, to people, and then that people would realize that, you know, it's okay to love other people. It's okay to love other people that don't look like you. And that's not an issue, you know, and it's okay. And I think the world would be a lot better if we had a lot more Elder Deans out there. I know that. So, but anyway, I want to call and tell you thanks for doing that. It was really nice, and I hope to see you today or tomorrow down at the county commission office today, or the Alabama State tomorrow.
All right, appreciate it, Doug. Appreciate it, County Commissioner Doug Singleton. Good morning, everybody. Again, we left off last hour with the. Well, let me take this break, and we'll come back. Because I'm surprised we're not getting more conversation over this thing. But again, MCDC, is it? Sabrina won. She won the race. I mean, she won the primary. Would it be fair, since she didn't? Now, I don't know if she was candid in her answers before this board about all the things in her past. I don't know. Don't know if I would have been. Some things just between me and them. But and I think this is always going to be the question that must be asked. And this is the only question I have. Do you have the moral authority to sit in judgment of others when you have been judged in such a negative way with your handling of your own kids? Do I have the now? And again, I would, and again, and here's another thing about things that happen. You know, there's always two sides to every story. Her kids are saying one thing. I don't know what she said. She hasn't really talked about this. But does she have the moral authority, given the cloud that's over her, to, you know, set that office? I don't know. I don't think I'd want to go in front of her, but I don't know. Or here's the question: can you be fair, even though you have been judged by your peers, because they are attorneys, to be lacking in a particular skill, evidently parenting? Does she have the moral authority? And if she doesn't have that moral authority to take that seat, then who decides? Now, me personally, I'd have given it to the guy who was running against him, because if she had not been in it, he still would have been in it, and he'd have won. But is Fernando to be given a seat because he ran just for running? He didn't win, you know. So I don't know. It's going to be an interesting. They have themselves in an interesting dilemma with this issue. So what is the answer to the question? Right? I don't know. I guess nobody wants to talk about that, but I'm finding it quite interesting. There's a bunch of different. Or do we have another election? No, probably not. So we'll be back.
Brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Blindster. Do you need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom-made blinds, shades, and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. Don't overpay for new blinds. Shop Blindster today and save big. Blindster.com.
Good morning, Montgomery. The good news continues. A great way to start your Friday, accident-free. Nothing's been reported by the authorities that would send anyone on an alternate route. Looking at your traffic flow map, traffic moving smoothly on the interstate systems and major thoroughfares here through the Tri-County area. You keep listening and we will keep you posted. Trenham State and their River Region Fame partners are now hiring. You'll work 3 days a week, go to class for 2 days. Companies like Ream International Paper and James Hardy. Call Trenham State before July 4th at 420-4361. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
When it comes to tires, bald ain't so beautiful. It's time for a tire makeover at Chico's Auto Pros. Better price, better experience, guarantee. 239-9510.
Your morning espresso starts right here. It's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Gallup has a poll out. Only 16% of Americans are happy with the direction of the country. How could they be happy with it? What do they have to be happy about? Joe Biden inherited inflation of 1.4%, now 8.6%, the highest in 41, 2 years, whatever it is. Gas prices, $2.39, now it's over $5 on average. Add to that the supply chain crisis. Oh, we'll fix that in a 90-day sprint, he said. Yeah, so much for that. We won't abandon Americans in Afghanistan. Oh, we abandoned them. The border disaster, do I need to even go into detail? Kids in cages, process release, no COVID tests in the middle of a pandemic? Whoever thought we'd have a baby formula shortage?
The Sean Hannity Show from coast to coast later today.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Financial insight. But that's your humor too. Joe and his gang. I'm going to a wedding here in just about a month, so I'm looking for a gift of $100. And there was like a meat thermometer.
I know Al said earlier the cash and gifts, there's no difference.
If you're so inclined, we have everything we need already. Why don't you help us pay for our honeymoon? But don't you think that that is a listen wherever you get your podcast.
Is your birthday becoming an hassle? Can't get through a workday without paying? Can't go shopping without looking down the aisles? I'm Dr. Brian Kill, board-certified podiatrist with specialized training in endoscopic procedures for heel pain and neuromas. Most diagnostic procedures can be performed right in the office, saving you the time and trouble of going from place to place. So don't run around town and fix your feet. Call me at 265-7585 for an appointment. That's 265-7585. Serving Montgomery, Greenville, and surrounding areas for over a decade. Follow us on Facebook and visit us on the web at www.greenvillefootcare.com. The doctor's profiles, directions to the office, hours of operation, and new patient paperwork are all listed a click away. You can also find useful information on common foot conditions and services that we provide. I'm Dr. Brian Kelly with Greenville Foot Care. Happy feet, start here.
No representation is made as to the quality of podiatric services to be performed or as to the expertise of podiatrists performing such services.
Ron's Roofing knows that when a storm damages your roof, it's hard to know what to do next. Easy. Rely on the most trusted and recognized roofing name, Ron's Roofing. They'll help protect you from the next storm. Ron's Roofing understands that your roof is your home's first line of defense. That's why they work with all insurance companies to ensure that your home is protected from any unexpected storms. A job won't get the Ron's Roofing name on it unless it's done right. Visit ronsroofing.com or call 215-0070.
And by government.com. Have you heard? The
United States Mint has issued the Morgan silver dollar for the first time in 100 years. Not only that, but they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 175,000 legal tender silver dollars were issued. These Morgan silver dollars are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins minted by the iconic Philadelphia Mint. Just call 1-800-859-1518 and you are guaranteed a new 99.9% pure silver Morgan dollar. The first time in history this has happened. But with limited quantities, you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-859-1518. If you order now, you will receive a free collector bonus, a $25 value free with every order. Call 1-800-859-1518 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-859-1518.
Join Sean Hannity Sundays at 3 p.m. for the Encore Show.
Chinese, the Russians don't fear Joe Biden.
On News Radio 1440.
And good morning. You know, somebody wrote me a text, and I find it interesting. I find it, but I'll get back to that after I take this call about this whole matter of the judge, or the soon-to-be judge, I think. Good morning on air. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I think that Sabrina Martin should resign, step down for being dishonest with the public. You have to think about it. Two positions that you want people to be honest on, like the president, elected officials and the clergyman. Now, this position is very important because it determines the destination of family. And I asked the question, how can a person that lost custody of all their kids sit back and tell us on how to manage our house and how to, how to render justice on our family? I mean, this lady didn't lose just custody of one child. She lost custody of 6. And I don't blame her PR team, but at the same token, it comes a point in time where even they need to keep their mouth closed because this right here is serious. This woman is fixing to render justice on family. And here it is. She's got kids screaming out. Have you read any of the stories?
Yeah, yeah, I have. Yeah.
Okay, those stories are heartbreaking. And you're not the only one that don't want to stand in front of her. Having Sabrina Martin as a judge is like having Ike Turner for domestic. We might as well make it. I'm serious. A man that beat his wife like a drum will tell you how to handle your house. That is the same way I look at it. It's like having Bobby Brown for a drug counselor. I mean, come on. And so.
However, now, well, wait a minute, but however, now, I got to tell you, if I've used drugs, who better to tell me what to do about it, except a drug addict?
Not a person that's still using it.
No, we're not still using it, but I mean.
Not a person that's still. Would you take marriage? Would you go? You think your wife would feel comfortable taking marriage counseling advice from Mike Turner?
Probably not. But
would you, being a man, or just being a person, a parent, would y'all feel comfortable having a judge sitting on your case that lost custody of not just one child, all 6? And one thing I will say this, I'm gonna slide off. For a woman to be deemed to lose custody of her kids means she had to be deemed unfit. And some of the stories that them kids are telling are heartbreaking. Sitting on babies, kids. Now, I've been whipped before with a belt. This ain't no whipping. This is just straight out abuse. I mean, I don't know what this world is coming to.
However, just to be fair, kids have been known to tell I know, but those documents are predicated on what they have been told. You know what I'm saying? So kids have lied. Right.
No, you're not going to do that. They've been predicated on what can be proven.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, whatever happened, they were able to prove it. I know we say innocent until proven guilty, but to lose custody of she never even spoke about it. Let's just say that there is some flaws in it. She never even spoke about it. I would have had more respect for her as a person if she had came out and kind of and said, you know what happened to me, I don't want it to happen to somebody else. She hadn't said nothing. Hadn't said nothing then, ain't said nothing. You don't see her in the black community now dancing at these galas. You don't see her running up in the Negro church now that these stories been broke. Hey, Sabrina, we want to hear from you.
Okay. Okay then. I appreciate it. I don't know. You know, kids have been known to tell some big ones though. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning. That's you. All right. Evidently, they didn't know it was them. Somebody sent me a text said, how can a person that files for bankruptcy be in any elected office over money and budgets, but it happens? True. I mean, we're not going to find anybody perfect. Because if you look in the mirror and you don't see anybody perfect, then we shouldn't look for perfection in other people, because we all got flaws. I'm with that. I don't. It's a tough one. I'm glad I don't have to. But she did win the election. Okay, she did win the primary. You know, so that I don't know. That means something. Good morning. Yes.
I managed to pull up something based on Arabelle years ago about the number of traffic accidents. At the time of the Korean War, we were losing 73,000 a day. And a statement was made that you are safer in actual combat than you are running up and down the highway. That number has been reduced to 32,000 because of seatbelts. And well, anyway, they got a device out there now whereby you cannot have an accident.
I don't think they make such a device. Anything made by man can fail.
Well, this technology has been out there since the 1950s. And if you think about it, if you put that device on these vehicles, because it's partially on there now, what would that do to the body of centerfold? Well, the only thing they can do then is paint. And to say that 13,000 were lost every day is ridiculous.
Okay. All right. I feel you. Okay. I feel you, I think. One more issue of the day, which I find absolutely crazy. 860-1440 is the number here. Now, this is another example of us taking our kids and giving them participation trophies in life without making them tough. Here's one right here. Montgomery Beasley Allen firm launches a lawsuit against Facebook, Instagram over Meta. Like most Americans, Naomi Charles was still a minor when she first started using social media. Not long after, she says she was addicted, going less and less without sleep, spending more time online. Her mental health worsened. Now at 22 years old, it's all over. She looks back at the injuries. She says Facebook and Instagram have caused her from depression to attempted suicide. And she is taking action. Charles is one of several plaintiffs represented by Montgomery-based law firm Beasley Allen that are suing the tech giant Meta, or Meta, however you want to pronounce it, the parent company of social media sites such as Facebook and Instagram, for they believe in its role as a worsening youth mental health crisis. Beasley Allen attorneys filed 8 lawsuits on June the 6th, okay, claiming, okay, Ooh, Charles 17 playing with Montgomery-based law firm Beasley Allen suing the parent company of Social. Okay, I got that part already. For they believe in its role in worsening, claiming that Meta knowingly exploited young people for profit by using addictive psychological tactics on its platforms and failed to warn users of the risks associated with their use. Well, then I need to sue whoever put out the Lone Ranger, okay? Because I could not miss an episode of the Lone Ranger and Superman back in the day, okay? I had to see it. I couldn't see it, but I wanted to see it all the time, okay? But somehow I got over it, okay? The Lone Ranger and Superman, oh yeah, and the Incredible Hulk. I had to see those shows, okay? Oh, and Good Times, okay? I mean, my week wasn't good unless I had to do chores, but I had to watch JJ and the Hulk and Good Times and Superman and the other guy. I mean, okay, another thing where we blame somebody else because we're stupid. Okay, really, who ever heard of such a thing? So we're gonna blame a company because you're too stupid to turn off the computer. Okay, I mean, again, participation trophy millennials. Well, it's somebody else's fault. I sat there and turned it on. I hit the power button, and I sat there for hours and hours and hours. Evidently, I would sue my parents for allowing me to sit there for hours and hours and hours and be on the internet all that time. I would sue them. If it messed you up that bad, I think that's called parent abuse. Okay, they should have stopped you, made your butt go outside. Okay, I'm just saying. I tell you what. No wonder we get participation trophies. I'll tell you. Good morning. Who's this? Yes.
Did you get a chance to put that sign on your Facebook page?
No, I haven't. To tell you the truth, no. But I'll get it. When is Father's Day?
It's Sunday.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
But anyway, will you allow me to read it now?
Well, go ahead. See.
First, I want to say happy Father's Day to those deserving fathers. But this is very important. Happy Daddy's Day to all the mothers who played the role of daddy. And I'm one of those. And we know a lot more. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right. I appreciate it. Yeah. And I will agree. A lot of mothers have been put in the role to play daddy. I agree with you. But you can never be a father. I'm just trying to say. But there are moms who are daddies. Okay. No doubt about it. 860-1440 is the number here. Man, it's getting late. I need another hour today. Good morning. Who's this?
Kevin.
Yes.
Good morning. How
Morning.
you doing?
Fine.
Been listening to you. W2 called me and said they've been trying to call you from out there at Kilby and say she want to talk to some other women standing by. They want to talk to you. Remember I told you how you have to accept their call because they is paying for their call?
Oh, well, they called my cell phone, and I can't get on the cell phone while I'm on the air.
That's what they call your cell phone.
Right. They call my cell phone.
I don't know if they're listening to you or not. Probably is. So, well, I hope she called me back then.
Yeah, they got it.
They called Kevin, said we trying to call them, and some other women standing back, or they want to talk to you too.
Mm-hmm.
I was just listening. I'm not going to even respond to some of those things what was said.
Yeah.
Because those people just talking. They don't know what's going on. They can't do anything about it. So they don't need to be talking to them. Okay, you think you for doing what you're doing, and talk to the people that can make a difference. If they will make a difference, the other people just talking.
Yeah. Okay. I gotta take.
I hope they call me back. So if they call,
they gotta call. Right. Okay. I appreciate it. We'll be back right after this. So, Facebook and Instagram is responsible for you being stupid and staying on the computer all day long. Okay. Now, Facebook will probably lose this. I mean, some jury, listen, if you can get $4 million for getting burned by coffee, although I understand the nuances of that lawsuit some years ago, they said that the coffee was 4 times hotter than it ought to be. I got that part. But it's called hot coffee. I'm just saying. We'll be back.
Linestar.com offers custom-made blind shades and shutters directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Don't overpay for new blinds. Shop Linestar today and save big. Linestar.com.
The heat wave continues today. High temperature around 100 degrees, sun and clouds. It will be advisory effect. It will feel 110. Could be a few isolated showers and storms this afternoon into this evening, but coverage only around 30%. I would not rely on rain to cool you off. Around 100 again tomorrow, sun and clouds. I don't think there's going to be much rain, but about a 20% chance of showers and storms, and then it's dry for Father's Day around 96. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Hello, Montgomery. Right now, things are looking good. Nothing's being reported by the authorities to send anyone on an alternate route. You keep listening, and we'll keep you posted with the latest and the most accurate traffic conditions on the radio. Invisible Fence has the Boundary Plus system, giving your pets security, but giving them more room to enjoy life. Call Vicki at Invisible Fence, 265-2585. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
You love your car, yes? But why are you not loving it with those tires that carry you and your family everywhere? Let Chico's Auto Pros show some love with our super savings on tires. Chico's Auto Pros.
Another Guardian Credit Union story.
Hey, so what are we doing with your hair today?
I need a trim, a new dishwasher, and a much-needed vacation. Do you see any grays?
Sounds like you need a personal loan. My friend just got a loan from Guardian Credit Union, and he used it to upgrade his kitchen appliances.
That's what I need to do.
Guardian has great rates and a friendly team that makes payments affordable.
Perfect. I guess stylists really can fix everything.
Connect with Guardian for all your lending needs.
$49 down delivered. Hey, Montgomery Prattville, Netflix here with Budget Car and Truck Sales. That's right, $49 down delivered. Shop over 300 late model, life new cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, convertibles, sports cars, America's finest. Starting with prices of $6,900 and $49 down delivered. Yep, think your credit report's a little messy? Been told no in the past? Bankruptcy, medical bills, or even a foreclosure. Budget treats everyone with privacy and respect for all credit situations. I work with the banks and the lenders that understand your past and know you're more than just a number. You're number one to me. This special relationship allows us 100% credit approval gold. That's right, 100% credit approval gold. Get absolute top dollar for your car. We'll buy your car even if you don't buy one from us. No trade-in required. Oh, did I say $49 down delivered? Budget Car and Truck Sale, 61 Mendale Parkway, Montgomery, or 508 McQueen Smith Road, Prattville. BuyBudgetOnline.com. That's BuyBudgetOnline.com.
Hey, folks, this is Coco.
And Captain from the Electric Furniture Outlet at American Oak and Moore.
We have some great news. We're building a new warehouse.
Yes, but the bad news is we have over $1 million worth of inventory that we have to move. That's over 4,000 pieces.
So, Captain, what are you going to do?
We're going to have a huge warehouse sale. I would rather discount it and sell it than move it.
For the first time ever, we will be giving an additional discount for 4,000 items in domestic outlets. And help us get it gone.
Good morning, Alabama. How'd you sleep last night?
You can buy a mattress anywhere, but at Wolf Boys Bedding, we want to make sure you get a good night's sleep. We will take the time to show you how a mattress is made and what supports you and gives you comfort. Then let you make the decision on what's best for you. Whether you need an inexpensive mattress or a great night's sleep, we have you covered. Shop the Better Sleep Sale and get up to $400 off on Heritage Sleep's homegrown collection.
Don't count sheep, get a great night's sleep from Wolf Boys Bedding next to American Oak and Moore.
It's a fact. Guys hate going to the doctor. But when it comes to erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues, men from all over Montgomery have been thrilled seeing Dr. Alderson and the providers at Montgomery Men's Health. Men all the way up to 95 years old have jump-started their sex drive and energy levels. Lots of men suffer with ED for years, but now they're able to enjoy sex again. Tom from Montgomery said, Montgomery Men's Health has changed my life. I have been able to be intimate with my wife for the first time in 5 years. She thought this problem was because of her, but the pills never worked for me. I had given up until I went to the clinic and realized there were more options for erectile dysfunction. Now I'm happy and my wife is happy. A visit for only $99, and that includes all testing, including a PSA and testosterone test. Give the guys at the clinic a call at 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
He's smart, witty, and fast on the draw. It's Mark Levin this afternoon at 5 p.m. on News Radio 1440.
Okay. You can tell it's Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. Got a weekend coming up. Oh, yeah, I'm good. Okay. And don't forget the thing that's happening at the amphitheater this weekend. Lady K is going to be down there, and I guess it's all free. Yeah, it's going to be free. I've actually heard her sing. I mean, most of the time I only listen to people sing better than me, and I haven't found very many people. Luther Vandross got me. Okay, that's one of the few guys. That's one of the few guys that I know. Okay, somebody called me on my cell phone, so you know I'm on the air, so I can't answer it. Okay, but I'll call you back. 860-1440. That's my cell phone, guys. I can't get to it at the moment. All right, then. I'm feeling good. 10 minutes left. 10 minutes, and the weekend begins. So what you guys going to do this weekend anyway? You know, what are you going to do? Don't forget today at 1 o'clock from 1 to 6, there will be a celebration of life, or at the county commission building. You'll be able to go down and pay your last respects to Mr. Elton Dean, former chairman of the county commission. They'll be down from 1 until 6. Okay. Also, what else is going on? There's some things going on the other day. Montgomery, Beasley Allen. Okay, man dies after being stabbed at the Donaldson Correctional Facility. You know, this is happening so much now, it's not even news. But let me get to my last subject of the day. And let me give a shout out to Erica Smith, who is on the Montgomery Board of Education, who always takes my call, even though she probably don't agree with me all the time. And Lisa Keith, they always take my call, even though they don't agree with me all the time. But they don't ever ignore the hell out of me, like some people do. I ain't mad. Don't get me wrong. Okay, but we were talking about the board meeting, the last board meeting where it is official now that I believe that I believe the new guy, Melvin, I forgot his name, he'll start July 1st as the official school board leader. But I looked at the last meeting, and the Montgomery Advertiser, they had some of the things that were done well under Dr. Moore's guidance, and I don't disagree with something. But let me tell you what's always missing in these conversations, okay, about the school board. I don't care about what school you're going to close. I don't. I don't care about whether you're over budget, under budget. That's why we pay you guys to worry about that kind of thing. Okay. I don't care if federal government said you need to put something else extra on the plate. I don't care. Okay? Those things are administrative things that we let the board do, and I'm just going to leave that alone. I don't care. But let me tell you what I do care about. I care, and most parents do, that my child is in a place that is as safe as you can possibly make it, okay? And that we get rid of the chaos and the disorder, okay, in our classrooms. That's what I care about. All the rest of that crap don't mean anything to me. If y'all can't figure out where the money is, fire somebody. Okay, I don't care. We pay it to you, okay? But we never can seem to have a conversation about what's actually important to us as parents of kids in public school. Okay, you shouldn't have to send your kid to a magnet school who nowadays is filled with kids who are no more brighter than kids in the traditional schools most often. When you take the GPA down to 2.5, it just seems to me that that's a school for everybody. Okay, so magnet schools should be for the exceptionally bright, and we have some. But then we turn around and say, well, let's put some mediocre in there also. Okay. And now here's what I don't like about magnet schools. Here's what I don't like. Magnet schools seem to take the opportunity to make the kids teach themselves and make the parents become teachers, keeping kids up to 2 o'clock in the morning to do makeup homework. Okay. Make work. Okay. If my child sits with you 8 hours a day in the classroom, and you can't seem to teach them, so you send them home for me to work with for 8 hours, something's wrong with that picture. You're the person getting paid. Okay, I think magnet schools are just, I'm sorry, because if you are exceptionally bright, it's easy to teach you. So I can't understand why you got kids up at 2 o'clock in the morning doing homework in magnet school. Like somehow that means you're more motivated. No, that means you're losing sleep and you're being misused. Okay, I'm just saying that's my thing anyway. But then again, I could be wrong. I doubt it. Good morning. Yes. Yes, I'll be gone. It ought to be high. It ought to be high. Yeah, but the GPA, I know, but wait a minute, get me right. The GPA ought to be high because it's an exceptional school for exceptional students. I was not complaining. I did not. I did not. I have never complained. Okay. You're lying on me though. You're lying on me though. I never complained. Yeah, and you will never find me complaining. Okay. I guarantee you a 12-piece, wait a minute, a 12-piece dinner at Papa, you will never find me complaining about a GPA in a magnet school being too high. You'll never find that. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. You're lying on me though. You're lying on me. No. If you're gonna go to a magnet school, it ought to be for magnet class. You ought to have at least a 3.5 or higher to get into a magnet school. Okay, it makes no sense to have it the same rate as a regular school. Then why are we dividing the kids up? That's right. That is not, no, I said I had a problem. Okay. All right. Okay. What do you mean what I'm doing next? I'm cogitating now. Hey, listen, I got about a minute left. We can talk later. Good morning. Who's this? I don't have enough time. Okay. Only. Are you good? Yeah. Hey, somebody. Okay. Tell them out there, Reverend Saint, we only got 1 minute left. It's not enough time to talk to those guys. But Monday or Tuesday, give us a call. And now that I know you called, we'll get them online. I only got 1 minute left. It's not worth messing with it. It's not worth giving them. They'll get on the phone and they'll say hello, and then it'll be time to go. So because I really want to have a dialogue with them out there, so people can hear them what their complaints are rather than just hearing it from me. Okay, so just tell them it's too late in the hour for this. Okay. But anyway, time's up. We got to go. But hopefully we'll talk to them next week and let them tell their own story. Anyway, my time's up. We'll go. And listen, magnet GPA is not 2.5. Okay. 3.5 or 4.0. And then not hell, if that's the case, put me in the magnet school. Hell, I can get in there right now. Anyway, time's up. We'll see you next week. Have a good Juneteenth. Happy Father's Day for those people who are fathers, but happy Daddy's Day. Anybody can be a father. That's a biological thing. But a daddy, that's something special.
12 News Update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Chad Davis. Here's what's happening in the news on this Friday. 2 people are dead, a third person injured after shots were fired inside an Alabama church in Vestavia Hills.
Wow.
It happened in Cahaba Heights near Birmingham at the St. Stephen's Episcopal Church.
I was
The shooter came inside during a small group meeting and opened fire. Suspect is now in custody. No word on a motive. Still no word from 2 Alabama veterans missing in Ukraine while helping in the fight against Russia. Andy Wynn and Alexander Druki both volunteered to help the Ukrainian army. Wynn is from Lawrence County. Druki is a native of Tuscaloosa. Military officials say they went missing while fighting in Kharkiv back on June 9th. One day after the Federal Reserve raised its key rate by 3/4 of a point, trying to slow inflation, average long-term mortgage rates made their biggest one-week jump in 35 years. Mortgage buyer Freddie Mac reported the 30-year rate climbed from 5.23% last week to 5.78% this week. That's your news on this Friday.
News Radio 1440 WLWI AM, the home of Sean Hannity. Also on 95.1 HD3 FM, Montgomery, Alabama.